Oh my god, it's 5! Go live now! Do it!
You gotta ruin my immersion, don't you?
What?
Hi everyone. How all you nerd and nerdettes doing?
Oh, okay. You know, you need to work on that communication, BJ. Just saying.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Hello, everyone in the chat.
Already I'm seeing bad opinions. Undertale is overrated. No, you're overrated. Undertale is amazing.
Oh, okay. BJ, don't stoop to their level. Come on.
I'll stoop to whatever.
Yeah, stoop above their level.
I'll stoop to whatever level I please.
You are no better than them.
Who said I was?
For a fact, you are much better than them.
Who said I was?
I did.
BJ,
clearly.
How's a?
You're supposed to play at a higher level.
But I'm scared of heights.
Everyone knows
Kinda.
scrubs can't
Really?
reach past level.
Not really, actually. That was a lie. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with BJ on that one. That's totally not true.
I like a good roller coaster here and there. All right, so we'll wait a bit before we get started. But for those who've never been to one of these kinds of streams before, this is the mistakes and issues stream. So this is pretty much I do this after every 10 characters usually. Thank you, Crockett. BJ more like Bustin' Jeeber owned Lomal. Dang, I got owned, everyone. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay.
Got him.
He got me. He got me indeed. Dang it.
Well, sorry guys. The What If series is canceled.
I can't recover from that. Stream's over.
Yeah, by the way, special guest speaker from Robot Brian. In which case...
Stupid
Huh?
Yeah, Brian's internet's a little goofy.
Oh, okay. I thought I was talking about something completely different. Okay, never mind.
In any which case...
That's why I act up the most here.
So the mistakes and issues stream. So I do this after every 10 characters. This will allow you guys to communicate to me more directly any possible flaws that I may have made in the videos themselves, maybe any issues that you guys have with the video. You guys can give me feedback, criticism, or even just just share your own ideas. This does not mean the movesets themselves are going to change. I don't plan on making any redo videos anytime soon. I would rather just focus on doing new characters. But this is just a way for me to learn from the experience. I like to learn new things. I like feedback. So we'll get started with that in a bit. We'll wait for a few more people to show up. How many people currently are here?
There are currently 271 fellow viewers.
All right, welcome everybody. All right, so how we usually do this is we do this in order, in order of the videos posted. So we're gonna start with Doomslayer first when we do get started, and then we'll go from Doomslayer to Asgore, and then after we finish Asgore, then we'll just do other stuff. Like if there's other characters from 50 prior that you may have issues with, we can talk about those or anything of the such. Victory themes, we won't do victory themes until my buddy Brandon, until we can set up a situation where my buddy Brandon can help with that, because he's a musician. We talked about that in the past, but for the time being, I personally don't have the means of doing victory themes, because I know victory themes for certain characters exist, but not every character has one. So I would much rather just make whole new remixes for them. Like the two already exist that Brandon's made for me. Like there's an Undertale one and a Klonoa one. I can show those later, but for now we'll focus on this stuff. So let's wait for a couple more minutes, and we'll see, and then we'll see where this goes. Let's see what everyone has to say. When am I doing the Min Min live stream? The day she comes out. So I will be live streaming again this coming Monday when Min Min comes out. Like as soon as I get her, I'll start a live stream, because I did this. I've done this for I don't think every character, but for at least the more recent DLC characters, where we just try them out. Like, so literally, my first experiences with them, you guys get to see that firsthand as well. Like, so literally, you guys get to watch me as I'm learning the character and figuring it all out. And I just pulled my own headphones out.
Okay. All right. Darn.
Yes, I did see that that Rehydrated came out a few days ago. I'll pick it up eventually. I have no I'm gonna wait on it for a little bit though. Which moveset am I most proud of? I really don't have a most proud moveset. I'm sorry, Brent. What are you trying to say, Ryan? Sorry.
No, no, you're good. I was about to say, it's like, God, that's a difficult question because there's so many movesets to choose from.
I really don't have a singular favorite moveset that I've done because I have stated this before, but if you knew that, it's okay. I usually don't post a moveset video unless I know I feel proud of it, unless I'm really happy with it. If I feel something's wrong with it, I won't post it. There have been characters, even characters that you'd think would have been done sooner, that I just haven't, that waited a while for me to get to them, or I still haven't done yet, because their movesets, I'm just not happy with the movesets just yet. I only post what I'm happy with. Do I plan to do a moveset for Tracer when she gets enough votes? All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. So I guess just to kick things off, Doomslayer. Was there any issues, mistakes, or mistakes, like any editing flaws within the Doomslayer video that I missed? Maybe any issues that anyone has? Aside from Doomslayer not being an Isabel Echo fighter.
Oh my goodness.
I feel that Doomslayer focuses more on Doom Eternal and not enough on Doom 2016. I think that's just because it's most recent. A big thing is that there's mechanics from both of them, but I do predominantly show mostly Eternal, because Eternal is just the updated version that shows a lot of the same things that were also in Doom 2016. Because I used the Eternal weapons, yes, but they're all just, for the most part, they're all just the same weapons. Like, they're just different names, different designs. Not enough Isabel? You think I needed more Isabel in that video? His final smash should have been the Unmaker? I disagree wholeheartedly. The BFG is just way too iconic.
Yeah.
Oh, he should be slower. He should be. Oh, wait, hold on. It's like, where did with the? Oh, where is it? Someone has said, oh, Super Craig. He should be slower because of the armor.
Slower because of the armor?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like it's interesting because it's like I don't think like okay, I get where he's coming from, but when you put like other characters that wear like super bulky armor into consideration, and yet they still have a considerable amount of speed, to me, that seems kind of irrelevant. I mean, take a look at Master Chief. You know, he has some pretty bulky armor, and yet he is able to like topple and like literally we see him like flip around like enemies like twice as big as him or whatnot. So yeah, it's like I don't know. And considering how the Doomslayer's armor is, it looks like it has its similarities or whatever, where it's not like too bulky or anything. It's like I don't think it would really affect his speed all that much.
Plus, Doomslayer is physically enhanced. He is way stronger and way faster than any normal human being. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like exactly like how it is with Master Chief. It's like that's like the big comparison and whatnot. They're both like genetically enhanced or whatever. So of course, like for Doomslayer, even with the bulky armor, he still has a considerable amount of speed to him.
Right. And then I saw someone ask earlier, why did I post Doomslayer on April Fool's Day? If you finished the entire video, that question would have been answered for you. But I guess just go ahead and let you guys know. Doomslayer was a non-joke. The joke was that because every day I get requests, do this character for April Fool's Day, because they think that character wouldn't get a moveset by themselves naturally. So their logic is, oh, maybe if I request him for April Fool's Day, he'll do an April Fool's Day. He'll make an April Fool's Day. So the joke was that everyone was expecting for me to do a joke character. So I did one of the most serious characters possible because that destroyed everyone's expectations. The point of April Fool's Day is to play against people's expectations, and that's exactly what I did. Everyone was expecting a joke character, so I gave him a non-joke character. And that was the April Fool's Day joke.
Right.
And then I saw somebody else ask, where was the Doomicorn costume? Nowhere near this moveset, because that costume is ugly and I hate it.
If I may interject from like a comment from Javier, where I guess he was like it was responding to something that I said about Master Chief. Something about Master Chief fights on other planets where there might not be that much gravity. Think about all the gravity on a planet. Well, I mean, I get it. See where you're coming from, but let me ask you this: what all the times that Master Chief has been on the Halo ring or on some other planet or whatever? How come is it that, the only times that you see Master Chief or whatever Halo protagonist you're playing as all floating and stuff, how come is it you only see like hardly any gravity and motion when he's in space, and yet when he's on the Halo ring and on another planet, gravity is just fine?
Well, here's actually my thing. I don't know enough about space stuff, so correct me if I'm wrong. But isn't the gravity on Mars heavier than it is on Earth? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Or is it that the gravity gets weaker the farther from the sun that it gets, or does it get heavier the closer to the sun that it gets?
Yeah, for that I'm not sure, but I mean, if you want to be realistic about it, then okay, yeah, I'm sure
someone figure that one out because on Doom 2016, in Doom 2016, he's predominantly on Mars. So what's the gravity on Mars? Like,
I thought you were talking about Master Chief.
No.
Oh, okay.
Doomslayer specifically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because a bigger planet has more gravity. Okay. So I guess, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's right. Okay, yeah. Thank you. The gravity is affected by the planet. So then, what would Mars's gravity be? Because it's close to Earth's size, but not exactly. But even the slightest difference, Mars has weaker gravity than Earth? Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Depends on it doesn't depend on the closeness of the sun. It depends on the mass. Okay, thank you. All right.
Let's see. It is weaker than Earth's gravity due to the planet's smaller mass. The average gravitational acceleration on Mars is 3.72076 ms -2, about 38% of that of Earth, and it varies laterally.
Okay.
Enjoy your science lessons today, kids.
Yeah. Science with Doomslayer.
BJ, the science guy.
Yeah, I learned about space today. Now enjoy killing demons.
All right. Well, aside from that, anyway, I saw more questions, but I forgot them already. Dang it. Yeah, like if I don't see, if your question doesn't get answered immediately, yeah, feel free to ask it again until I see it.
Just don't spam the living daylights out of the question.
Yeah.
Oh, meanwhile, we have a Brandon in the chat, a Platinum Rhythm.
Well, why isn't he in the call?
The boy.
Let the man do his thing. He's been through a lot.
Where are the demons? They're dead, because Doomslayer killed them all.
and so did Isabel.
Like, are you asking why weren't there any demons included in the moveset? Well, the same reason why there weren't any Goombas included in Mario's moveset, or why there weren't any Bokoblins in Link's moveset. Like, why would there be? The Crucible should do more damage? I mean, it's an up smash. Smash attacks in general are pretty powerful, so...
That is true.
When he dies, does he lose all of his ammo? It refills. If Doomslayer loses his stock, his ammo is refilled. It's just like Hero. It's just like Hero in that regards.
Oh, JC Alcazarin, the gaming expert. Where is his pistol?
I think I think I didn't include it because I think I just didn't include it. Like, because I wanted some of the other guns instead. Like, I think that was just a case of, like, because a big part of these movesets is there are some things that are just going to get left out because there's only so many attacks. You could add more for certain things, like I did for Doomslayer here. He effectively has 2 sets of basic attacks. But again, there's only so much room, and the weapons that I chose were just ones that I preferred to use because I felt like they worked better for the scenarios that I put them in.
Gotcha.
And then for everyone asking about requests, don't worry. Just like with the last stream, because Danny actually will show up a little later. Danny is around. She's just having dinner right now. So when she shows up, she'll get your requests. But to the ones requesting right now before she gets here, I'll get you guys' requests after the stream in the post video. So don't worry. So if you have requests, feel free. Go, keep going with your requests.
Yeah, or another thing I'd suggest is that hold off on them until Danny gets back, then throw your requests out.
Either that, or if you're scared that your request is going to get missed, you can always put them in the comments of the video. That's always an option too.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's now I'm kind.
How
I kind of a bad.
I'm sorry. How far does the up special for the super shotgun? How far does the tether go? I guess for balancing purposes, it probably. I guess Joker by the basic tether distance. I don't think there really is. Is there a difference between the tether lengths of each of the tether characters? Ivysaur, because in terms of ones that have it for an up specials, like Ivysaur, Joker, Byleth, and now Min Min. So it would just be a generic generic tether length. How much ammo does he have? I know I listed it in the video. I forgot what it was offhand, but I know I listed it in the video.
Oh, well, Oof Game ask, would Doom Guy's hold down tilt, the heat mod thing, count as an electric attack, or would it also count as a projectile?
It wouldn't be a projectile. It would be just a big hitbox. As for it being an electric attack, I guess it would be. Because the plasma rifle in and of itself, I believe, is electric based. So I guess it would be. Where's Doom Guy's pet rabbit? Decapitated somewhere on Earth.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, why do you think Doomslayer is going around killing demons?
Yeah.
It's payback.
Yeah.
And then he adopts Isabel.
He should use the grapple as a grab and pummel by shouting at them. He's not the Fusro dog guy.
Honestly, I just like the idea where it's like he grabs him and his pummel is just him shouting, "Rip and tear, rip and tear."
I guess I should also point that because I know there's a few times, and this isn't even just for Doomslayer. There's a few times where I give a character a tether that isn't like a grab, and they say that should have just been a grab. Generally, my logic is that we have characters in Smash who have tether-based up specials, but then they don't use that tether as a grab. But I mean, Byleth, and Joker being examples of that. Ivysaur too, to an extent. But my whole thing is that if I don't make the super shotgun tether, what was it called, the meat hook? If I don't make the meat hook the up special, what would be his up special? I'm sure there are other options, but I feel like that's just the less, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess the most believable idea? Because anyone can think of like, oh, he'll just take one of his guns and shoot it straight down. But like, I think just him having an attack that actually does pull him to, that actually does have the ability to pull him to higher places just makes a lot more sense to me personally.
On top of that, you also still have, like, even for some other characters, like, they often have things, like, they often have, like, means of being able to grab things without having to press the grab button. That's kind of what we call a command grab.
Yeah. The dash works in midair. I know it does in, yeah, I know it does in, Eternal, but just for the sake of it being a, a dash attack here, it wouldn't here. Because I think Samus's is actually kind of the same. Because Samus's dash attack in Smash, oh, what's it called? The Shine Spark? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think she can also jump and use that in the air as well, but it's only relegated to it like as a reference to her dash attack, or it's just used as a reference for her dash attack, I should say. So it's kind of the same thing here. Does Kirby use ammo? I'd say yeah.
Oh, more super armor was needed to represent you being invincible during glory kills.
I don't know. I guess? I don't think there should be too much super armor. Like, I imagine maybe some attacks would have super armor just because he's literally fighting you so angrily that he just powers through certain attacks. So I can see him having some super armor, just not too much, especially since he does have long range options. So making it so that him having both long range options and the ability to power through attacks if the opponent does get close would make him a bit too overpowered.
Doom guy is too angry to die.
Of course. When he hits this, I missed it. When he hits him with this, I was something like when he hits him with the super shotgun. What angle did he shoot? I think, how did I have it? I explained it in the video where this requires you to use ammo, but I think if you hit the button at the right time, he'll shoot them and they'll fly straight down. Or not straight down, but like down at an angle.
Right.
So it requires angle for you to use it, and it requires you to actually grab them first with the meat hook.
Oh, meanwhile, thank you, the Brick Collector, for subscribing to BrawlFan1's channel.
Oh, thank you. Sorry I missed you.
It's all good.
So it sounds like someone's breathing directly into their mic.
Not me.
Oh, it might be me, but it's just...
Oh, because okay, yeah, I see.
He's not breathing into the mic. The fan is doing it for him.
Foxy, we'll get to Asgore when we get to him. Right now, we're just talking about Doomslayer.
Yes.
I have an idea. Okay, yeah. I saw a few people suggest that actually. Yeah, Maniac. How for Asgore's toy taunt, it could be he could also pull out amiibos too. That'd be pretty funny. I saw a few people suggest that. Like that'd be a pretty funny idea. What happens if you fight Isabel? I mean, the same thing that happens if anyone fights Isabel.
They lose because hitting her once causes it a loss.
Can you make fan art? Sure, I won't stop you. I appreciate it.
Like rule of thumb, whenever you think art, more than likely the person in question is going to appreciate the fan art.
Did I say Asgore's toy taunt? Sorry, I meant Doomslayer's toy taunt. Sorry for the speech impediment, guys. Sometimes words just don't get shelved properly.
Your comments about Asgore are messing with the man's head.
Yeah, that is actually
talking about the Doomslayer.
If I'm not even gonna lie, that's actually a big reason why I like to do these characters one at a time. Because if we get off track, my mind will kind of mess up.
Your mind
the wires get crossed a little bit. So let's focus on Doomslayer for now, and then we'll get to Asgore at the end when we get to him.
Yeah, one character at a time, people.
Doomslayer should get a special victory against Isabel. Nah, because
I mean, that'd be funny and all, but it's like, again, this whole Isabel and Doomslayer deal, that's just something that the internet came up with. So I mean, it's like that'd be funny, but when you really get down to it, from another standpoint, I don't think
BJ.exe encountered an error. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh no.
All right,
BJ has encountered a communication error.
So I guess like is there nothing else on Asgore then? Because I'm not really seeing anyone else bring up anything else specifically about Asgore.
Oh no, you did it again.
I did it. Stop saying Asgore! I'm like reading the chat in my Doomslayer. Are we done with Doomslayer?
See, alright, see, people, look at what you've done.
This is why BJ needs vacations.
I hate everything.
Well,
Oh my god.
well, guess Asgore's never getting this smash.
And then Doomslayer takes off his helmet. It's Asgore. Dang it!
It's me, Asgore! Oh, son of a beasting!
Oh my god. Are we done with Doomslayer? Doomslayer, are we done with him? Can we move on to the goose? Can we move on to the goose?
Alright, now to talk about our next character, Asgore. Nah!
Are we ready for the goose? I was like...
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to the ass goose. Darn it!
Yeah.
I think we're okay. Just based on what I'm saying, I think we're ready to move on. So
Yeah.
All right, so-
I think
so-
based on our stylist, yeah, I think we're good.
all right, so we're good on Doomslayer then. All right.
Yep, let's move on to the goose.
Yep. Next up, Untitled Goose.
Yeah, the one who apparently causes all the stream problems that BJ has.
Apparently so, yeah.
It's his. No, it's his fault. He's the reason why I keep saying Asgore.
Yeah, he's
Every time the goose honks, he's actually trying to say Asgore.
All right. Any problems with the goose?
Okay, well, let me whip out a list here. No, not with the moveset, just with the goose in general.
Hog should do 999 damage and have infinite.
Oh, thank you, Maniac. What if BJ has a mental breakdown? Oh, Maniac, you don't even know the half of it.
Aw.
Why can he steal projectiles? Because he's a goose.
Yeah, he just snatches them out of the air. That's what goose do.
Yeah. Can I hug the goose?
Are
I
you
don't know if
are
the
you
goose can appreciate
Are
it.
you sure you want to do
No.
that? Have you ever tried getting close to a goose? They
It's
are
not
mean.
Fun. They are mean.
They are really mean.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe if hit by a smash attack, it randomly loses feathers. Oh, so like whenever the goose gets hit, it just loses feathers. I guess that'd be a nice little attention to detail. It is a bird after all.
Yeah.
Why make the goose annoying? Why do you think?
Again, have you not seen a real goose?
Have you not played the Untitled Goose game? The whole point is to be annoying. Alright, later, fanboy. Don't change the goose. I doubt he's perfect. I'm sure some people have issues with him. The goose needs to wear a Deadpool mask? Alright, hold on. We're getting a little off track here. Are there any actual issues with the moveset itself? Like, I mean, the fact that no one's really saying anything about it is telling me probably not, but...
Darkman asked, can you steal more than one player's attacks at once?
Okay, I think I explained this in the video as well. You can only one attack can be stolen from a character at a time. So like, if there's let's put the scenario. Let's say there's 2 geese players and then just one other random person. If one of the geese takes an attack, the other geese cannot take from that other person. The other goose cannot steal an attack from that person. Only one attack can be stolen from a character, no matter how many geese there are. However, the goose can steal as many attacks from different people. So, like, the goose can steal 1 attack per other character, but each character cannot have more than 1 attack stolen from them at a time. Does that make sense?
Because I just like to imagine, it's like, you decide to be a masochist, and you have, like, yourself facing a team of 7 geese, and then they just all steal something from you. It's like, I got no specials, I got no smash attacks!
Can you gimp people with the townsfolk? Yeah. That's pretty much the point of them, actually, is to kind of just be an annoying gimping tool. His beak is too orange? That's just the picture that I used from the game itself. So if it's too orange, take that up with the developers.
Can another goose steal the first goose's stolen move?
Technically, yeah. Yeah, actually they can, because remember, when the goose uses the peck theft to steal a move, the goose is then holding it like an item. So then if another goose shows up and uses peck theft on that goose holding the attack, then the goose will steal it. Like how the priority works is that if the goose will only steal an attack if the opponent they're stealing from isn't holding an item. If they're holding an item, then the goose won't steal an attack, instead they'll just steal the item. So I can see characters like Peach and Diddy Kong actually having a much better time against the goose, because they can keep themselves with an item at some point for the goose to steal, but at least they won't lose their attacks. So that can be seen as kind of a weakness for the goose, actually, like, because the goose it'll be much harder for the goose to steal. Yeah, like characters like, Peach, Diddy, Rob, Banjo to an extent, characters who can naturally get items for themselves that they can carry.
Okay. So, burning random asks, can Goose steal Toad? And if so, will Toad be hanging from his mouth?
That'd be funny. But technically, yeah, he can't. If the Goose steals Peach's or Daisy neutral special, then technically, yeah. But it won't be shown as Toad. As funny as that would be, it would just be shown as like a red orb.
I just like to imagine it's like, help me out! The goose has me!
Wait, Ridley?
Can the goose hold cards? Wait, can the goose hold cards with the input on instead of magic orbs? It feels weird for the goose to hold magicals. It's not really a magic thing. It's more supposed to represent like the GameCube buttons. That's kind of what I was going for, because the GameCube is really the only controller that has different colored buttons. Because like the Wii has like the white buttons. The Switch controllers have all black buttons for the most part, or gray buttons depending on what you're using. The GameCube was the only one with multicolored buttons, so that's what I was going for. So like, basic attacks are green, like the A button on the GameCube. Special attacks are red, like the B button on the GameCube, and then grabs are gray, which really probably should have been blue, because that's the Z button thing, not that. Well, whatever. I have an idea for the goose. Why not give it a to-do list? Like certain combos? The goose in and of itself is already a pretty gimmicky character. I don't think he needs more than that.
Yeah.
Can the goose steal final smashes? No.
Can Goose steal gimmicks?
Not mechanical gimmicks, but I guess it depends on the character, because there are characters that have gimmicky special attacks. So he can steal those. He can only steal attacks. So if a character's gimmick is a part of one of their attacks, then technically yes.
Like it's just, you see it now. It's like Goose is fighting Pichu, uses peck theft. Oh no, I take self damage from electric attacks.
The goose is unable to fly. It's a goose. Geese can fly. Just because it doesn't fly in the game doesn't mean it can't fly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because I gave it 6 jumps. Like, it doesn't have a recovery up special. It has the bell. So it has 6 jumps, representing how geese can fly. So, just because it doesn't fly in the game doesn't mean that it can't fly in real life. It's a goose.
Goose can't fly.
Can you make these into videos again? I want to, but at the same time, I feel like not a lot of people really take the time to watch them, is the thing. If you throw a stolen move at a character other than the victim, what happens? It just treats it like you just threw an item at somebody. Like, it'd be like you threw, like any basic item at a character. Yeah, because if you throw it at the original victim, it just gets absorbed back. It won't even deal damage. It'll just absorb back into them immediately. But if you throw it at somebody else, it'll just be treated like you threw like a capsule, or what's a better example? Like a ray gun, I guess. Like you're just throwing an item at them. If the goose steals something if the goose steals something like a turnip or a gyro, does that mean the fighter can't? Well, if he just steals the item itself, no, because how those items work, if I recall correctly, because I know at least with I don't know exactly how it works for Rob or Diddy, but I know at least with Peach, she can pull out as many turnips as she wants, even if there's one already on screen. I know there are certain characters that can't pull out new items if one's currently on screen, but I think that gets canceled out when the item is reflected. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I think when the goose steals it, it's no longer that character's item. It now belongs to the goose. Therefore, the goose would be, or that character would be able to pull out a new one of those items. Can Goose steal Wario's bike and drive it away? That's actually a good question. You know what? I didn't think about that. I guess he could technically, because you can pick up Wario's bike like it's just treated like a heavy item, like a crate. So I guess technically Goose would be able to steal that too.
Goose just gets on the bike.
Yeah. Yeah, Goose stole my bike.
I still had payments on that.
Would the Goose's up special create wind boxes? Did I say it could? I can't remember if I said it could or not. How would the Goose hold the bike? You got me. You got me there. I don't know. I have no clue.
The Goose will find a way. When he finds a way, you just have to accept that.
Peck theft instantly breaks. No, thank you. No. Goose should have had an evil thumbnail? Nah. Because, yes, geese are evil, but they're not inherently evil.
Yeah.
Goose can take Buster Wolf. Yeah.
Buster, wait a minute.
Can Goose steal a me special? Yeah, because it's still a special. The Goose should be able to snatch projectiles out of the air. It can do that, yeah. Peck theft can do that.
Yeah. I mean, technically, a lot of projectiles, you can just do that in general if you press the dodge buttons.
Yeah. Well, so long as it's a grabbable projectile, yeah. That is. Well, okay, I should say he can grab items out of the air, but projectiles that can't be grabbed, no, he can't do that. He's just gonna get hit. Can Goose steal Terry's back special? Yes, because that counts as side special. So if Goose were to steal from Terry Bogard and got the side special, it would get both. The burning knuckle and the crack shot. It would get both of them. Because they're both side specials. Like, they're separated by forward and back, but they're both still categorized as side special. So if Goose were to take from Terry, Terry would lose both of them. What happens if he steals an attack while the attack is being used? That's assuming it happens. Because the peck theft will still cause flinching. So if there's an attack going on, and then he used peck theft on it, even if the Goose just so happens to steal the attack that was just used, the attack was still interrupted. Because if the Goose was able to steal it, that means the attack was going to get interrupted anyway. So, can he steal the faux stock? No, we can't do that.
Now that would be broken.
Goose should replace any of the moves that it stole? No. I think just stealing the attacks is enough. Because, like, you don't see the Goose stealing the broom from the old lady or the shopkeeper and then using it against the shopkeeper. It just steals it. So, that would be funny, though. What about Min Min down B? If he stole Min Min's down B, then Min Min wouldn't be able to change weapons. As simple as that.
Oh no, I'm stuck with the slow weapon.
It'd be just like Pokemon Trainer. If he stole Pokemon Trainer's down special, he effectively stole the other two Pokemon.
Oh my! Oh wow! So Goose was able to accomplish something that Team Rocket couldn't do for years.
What if they have super armor, like Ganondorf's neutral B? Okay, I think that would just be a case where, because the attack was already initiated, and it's already happening, then it just happens. So even if Goose, you know, hits Ganondorf while he's using Warlock Punch, and Ganondorf armors through it, and if Goose just so happened to steal the neutral special, you know, it would still count. Like, he'd still finish the attack, he just wouldn't be able to use it again. Simple as that.
It's like, alright, that Warlock Punch felt great. I'm feeling another one. Wait, where'd it go?
Can the Goose steal Phoenix Wright's attorney badge? I mean, the video game already did that to Phoenix Wright, so... I mean, he got it back, so whatever. What happens with the final smash if Goose can toss items and be KO'd? You have to repeat that question.
I think probably what they're asking is that if Goose were to have a move that is stolen, and then the Goose is KO'd with the stolen item, what would happen to that item?
Well, if he was holding the item if the Goose is KO'd while he's holding the stolen attack, the attack just returns to the opponent, because the opponent will always get the attack back if they get close enough to it, like whether it's thrown at them or they just walk up to it. They don't even have to pick it up; they just have to walk close enough to it. Or if the item ever hits the blast zone. If the item ever hits the blast zone, it immediately goes back to the opponent. So even if Goose is holding onto it, when he's KO'd holding the item, the attack just goes back to the opponent.
Can it steal Peck's Neck Theft?
Yeah, it can technically steal Peck Theft from another Goose. Good.
You traitor!
What if you stole one of Isaac's specials? Then he just wouldn't be able to use the attack. Like, I should mention, what Goose is stealing is the button command specifically. So it doesn't matter if a character has like more than one neutral special or more than one side special. If he steals your side special, you just can't use any attack that utilizes the side special. He's stealing the button command. Can the Goose steal my credit card number? I mean, I don't know why you'd want him to do that.
But you know what? The Goose will do it anyway.
If the Goose stole Mario's wallet, that'd be a rich Goose.
Oh, where did my money go?
Could the Goose potentially steal DLC fighters' gimmicky inputs? Yeah, because it doesn't matter if characters have, like, input commands for certain attacks. If he steals the button commands, they're still going to lose the attack. So, like, for example, in Ryu's case, if Goose steals neutral special from Ryu won't be able to use any form of Hadouken. It doesn't matter that you don't necessarily need to press the special button or the B button to activate it. He won't be able to use Hadouken at all. If the Goose throws a move at somebody, and they have a reflector, do they take the move back or is it reflected? That's a good question. So I guess theoretically, if Goose stole one of Fox's attacks and he threw the attack back at Fox, but Fox reflected it like an idiot. You know what? He was an idiot. Yes, it would get reflected because he was an idiot. He should have just let it happen. Because again, if your own attack is thrown at you, it won't hurt you. It just gets absorbed into you immediately. It won't ever make contact because the moment it gets too close, it'll just get absorbed. So if the Fox is stupid enough to reflect his own attack, then he deserves to lose that attack.
Falcon's like, good job,
Can the Goose steal grab? He can't steal grab. He can steal throws. He can't steal grabs though. Like he'll never take your ability to grab opponents away, but he can steal throws. Can you counter Peck Theft? Yeah, you can. Can the Goose steal Inkling shield special? No.
Although I like to imagine like just countering Peck Theft is like swiper, no swiping. Oh man.
No swiping, man.
What if Goose steals one of Metal Sonic's copied moves? Well, if he steals the neutral, because those are all a part of the neutral special. So if he steals the neutral special, then Metal Sonic just can't do anything that involves the neutral special. Can Goose steal Final Smashes? No, it can't.
Yeah.
Well,
all life form data successfully wait, where'd it go?
I should say, actually, technically he can, but then again, anybody in Smash can steal Final Smash, because if you have the Smash Ball, but if you get attacked enough, you lose it. It just gets knocked out of you. So technically, yes, Goose can steal Final Smash, but not necessarily with Peck Theft. He steals it he would steal it in the same way that any other character would steal it. Would Goose be able to steal Heavy's food? If he steals neutral down special, then yeah.
Heavy will just get very mad though.
Like people, okay, at this point, people are just asking what the Goose can and cannot steal. Like, what part of Kirby Up Special would he use if he steals it? Kirby Up Special? What? No, Goose doesn't use the attacks that he steals. Like he just carries them around. Goose can't actually copy the attacks. He just steals them. Like, he just prevents the opponents from being able to use that attack. Goose itself can't steal them. What would Goose's jump animation look like? I don't know. Look up what it looks like for a Goose to jump. Alright, at this point, like, is there anything else with the moveset itself that anyone may have issues with or have criticism on? Can he steal boss movesets? I'd say no.
Oh, Sonic's Hammer. Why not have Peck deal major damage to people who get the Smash Ball?
Nah.
By the way, before we eventually continue to the next character, I would just like to inform you, BJ, that apparently today is 626 Day.
It is. You're right. Happy Stitch Day, everybody.
Whoops.
Can any of the characters... Yeah, every character can swim, even the hydrophobic ones. Well, hydrophobic characters will take damage in water, but every character can swim for a little bit before eventually just dropping.
Goose just casually swims in water. He's like, hey, I see you drowning. It's rough, buddy.
Oh, Nico Volt. The Goose should have a throw that let him carry opponents in his beak, move around, and then throw them, similar to Donkey Kong's forward throw.
I get where you're going with that, but I'm gonna say no, if only because, unlike Donkey Kong, who can literally uproot trees with his bare hands, the Goose is a normal Goose. He's not picking up anything that boy has trouble picking up a broom handle. So, like, I know there's the whole thing about, being able to throw opponents. That requires a bit amount of strength, but being able to actually pick them up and walk around with them, I'm gonna say no to that.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other legit questions or whatever. Like suggestions maybe, but not so much like actual criticisms with the moveset.
Can Goose steal Kirby's copy abilities?
Yeah, he technically could, because if you steal the neutral special from Kirby, then that just locks Kirby out of his copy ability entirely.
He just wears a hat, but has nothing to show for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that's funny enough. It's like a Plig Life over here is saying one issue that must be addressed. If the Goose takes a copy ability Kirby got via Inhale, he should take the hat.
Is he OP? No.
No, he's just annoying.
He's just really annoying.
As all geese should be, amongst other birds.
Can you make the up be the mailbox? Mailbox? What mailbox?
No idea.
Was there a mailbox in Untitled Goose? I don't remember a mailbox. I remember the cardboard box that he could hide in, but not a mailbox. Is that what you're talking about? Could he steal the Final Smash by stealing Neutral B? No. Because those are still technically separate. No, the Goose cannot stop Final Smashes unless he just does it the same way anyone else does.
Someone asked, can Fox reflect the old man?
Yeah, technically, he could.
I mean, yeah, he can reflect the shots from Duck Hunt, no, from Duck Hunt's guys he summons. So.
Yeah. All right, so I think so I guess are we good on Goose then? Can we move on?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good.
Yeah, so it sounds like not a lot of people really had issues with Goose then. They were just because people were really just more so asking about the intricacies of how it worked, but it seems like no one really had actual issues with it. So
Yeah.
what is the plural of goose? Geese. All right, let's go ahead and move on then. So next up, King Boo. So now there was one mistake that I made in this video. So for King Boo's forward air, it was the forward air where he literally just like, oh, hey, yeah, thank you. Reflects your elders? You're rude. That's funny though. So for King Boo's forward air, I have him do it where he just licks forward. So it's literally just, So it's a lick from low to high. But I accidentally said from high to low. So that was a mistake on my part. I accidentally said from high to low, which would have had him do this, when really it's low to high, which has him do this. So that was a mistake on my part there. Aside from that, I know there was one thing that I saw a lot of people talk about for King Boo. And that was regard to the fighter weight. A lot of... Oh. Could Goose steal jump? No. Well, thank you, though. But no, he can't. But that was in terms of King Boo's weight. A lot of people said that King Boo should have been very light because he's a ghost. I get where you're coming from, but I disagree. Because, for one thing, King Boo can slam the ground hard enough to create cracks in the ground as well as shockwaves. You need some form of weight to be able to do that. On top of that, it's, again... Fighter weights are generally meant for balancing purposes. They're not necessarily supposed to directly reflect the weight of the characters themselves. I kind of go into this rant a bit in Metal Sonic's video, but regardless. And also, I should also mention, he's a Mario character. Don't question Mario characters too much, my guys.
Seriously.
And you know what? Actually, yeah. What's your name? I can't see it. Nicholas brings up a good point too. In Mario Kart, King Boo is classified as a heavyweight. So there you go. So aside from that, were there any issues with King Boo?
Yeah, we can't see him.
Oh, Super Andy, I think Up B needs to be nerfed a bit.
Nerfed how? Because up special was the Boo vanish, where it's a teleport. He vanishes and then reappears, but you can either have it where he does a normal teleport, or he can leave a clone of himself that if it's attacked it explodes, or he can cancel it. So what do you think needs to be nerfed about that?
Oh, Cooper, I feel like the portraits should have been incorporated more.
The portrait. Okay, that was another big one I saw. I should be writing this down. Let me get the weight one first. King Boo's heavy weight. I can spell. Weight is for balancing purposes. Plus he's heavy in Mario Kart. And then I'm just missing keys here. Dang. As for the portraits, I saw a lot of people say that I should have incorporated the portraits a little more. That kind of just boils down back to an opinion thing. Like, I just liked having it for the down throw, and that was it. I felt like that was enough just personally for me anyway. I know a lot of people said they would have liked it for a final smash, but I just preferred the idea of him using something that's actually like a generic Boo attack. Because King Boo isn't necessarily... How I built King Boo's moveset, it's not necessarily just King Boo. It's kind of just Boos in general. Like, he's the Boo rep. So I wanted to incorporate everything Boo related, not necessarily just King Boo. So that kind of just boils back down to a preference thing. Like if you think that he should have had more portrait stuff, that's fine. Like, I just personally disagree. Does King Boo immediately get KO'd if grabbed by Luigi? That'd be funny. Nah,
oh my goodness.
Nah, that'd be a little one-sided then. Because then everyone would be, everyone would be spamming or Luigi's plunger. What should King Boo should cover his face and turn intangible when inside the shield? That'd be a nice attention to. I don't think he should go intangible. Obviously, he shouldn't be like invincible, but like, yeah, to like make himself, slightly go transparent while hiding his face like a Boo does. Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, I like that.
It would be hilarious if. Oh. Maybe if King Boo... Well, that's kind of referenced it as one of his victory animations, because one of his victory animations shows, like, portraits floating around him. So it's kind of referencing that he did trap his opponents in those portraits. Can King Boo walk through players if they aren't attacking? Nah. Can King Boo possess people? I think his grabbing would probably be the closest he can get to that. People already...
He does.
People...
In a way, he does take possession of them.
Hold on. Victory. People already spam grabbers for Luigi. Okay, you're not wrong. So, you're not wrong there. Can I change neutral special? No. I like neutral special how it is.
I mean, if there's a particular issue with a neutral special, then please do say so.
Yeah. Like,
other than just being like, oh, you should change it.
I think King Boo should have more jumps, about 4 or 5. If he had that, he'd be too broken. Because I made King Boo a heavy, floaty character. So King Boo would be very good airborne, but to have more than 2 jumps, I think would make him a bit too OP. What if Goose used a peck theft on assist trophy? It would just hurt them. That's it.
Super Craig. Neutral aerial looks too spammable, and the Boos look to be too close.
Well, I mean, that's simply a patch thing, I guess you can say. Like, how... I should mention, when I talk about the attacks and show them off, like, for the ideas of each attack, they're obviously, up for... It's more... What's the word I'm looking for here? I guess think of it like, yeah, like them getting a patch. Like, I'm more so presenting the idea of what it could be. As for the actual mechanics of the attack, that's subject to change. Like, because again, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of actually being able to test these characters out in, like, a proper fighting game setting. Like, I don't have the ability to mod characters, unfortunately. So... I'm sure if I did have the ability to actually, like, put these movesets into some kind of actual test simulator to try them out, there would definitely be changes that happen. Maybe not necessarily to the attack animations themselves of what they are, but more so the mechanics of how they work. Like, maybe some attacks would just get a little slower. Maybe some attacks could become a little faster to help buff them up a little bit. That's, simple as that. Like, yeah, because, like, if you look at characters' attacks between Smash games, some characters get attacks changed, for sure, but then there are other characters who have the same attacks between each game, but the properties of those attacks are different. So it'd kind of be the same case here. Will King Boo be faster if he's not being looked at now? I did include. I know for his side smash, I included that that attribute where the side smash does more damage if you hit the foe from behind. That I did. But just in general, being able to do that, no. What happens if King Boo inhales a wisp from his neutral special that's reflected? I think if that happens, I think it would be treated as if he inhaled any other projectile that isn't his. Like, it would just interrupt it, I think. Because it no longer counts as his, so it would interrupt it. And again, I'm hearing like I bet it's something coming off from your end, Brian. Like I think it's your headphones like scraping against something.
Nah, it's
Aiden, thank you. King Boo versus the Shotos would not be a very good matchup. I mean, look at Shulk.
I mean, sometimes that just happens. You just have characters with bad matchups.
But at the same time, Mewtwo is great against the Shotos, so you know.
Yeah.
They're always going to be facing that down B. That's just kind of how it works. It's like it doesn't matter how balanced every character is. There's always going to be bad matchups and good matchups.
Yeah.
Have King Boo have a regular Boo for one of King Boo's alternates? No, because he needs the crown. Because the crown is incorporated into certain attacks. If the crown wasn't incorporated, then sure. But aside from that, no. Like, for this moveset in particular, he needs the crown. Can he swim? Yeah. I don't see any reason why King Boo would be hydrophobic.
Who are the Shotos? That is Ryu and Ken.
Yeah. How high would the up smash go? Palutena, I think, is probably a good example of that. Like, probably around Palutena's height. Have you ever thought about giving your character specific archetypes, like Zoner and Rushdown? Well, those archetypes kind of just are self-explanatory once you see the moveset. Like, once you see the attacks and what the character can do, you can kind of classify them into those archetypes just based on what you see. Wait, some alts don't have the gem on his head? Yeah, and yeah, I get that, because the gem is where the powers come from, but he still has the crown. So that's kind of where the implication comes from. Like, the attacks come from the crown itself. So that's just kind of another one of those hand-wavy things. And I know some people are probably thinking, well, just hand-wave away needing the crown. Just have the normal Boo. I think there's a limit to where it goes, though. There's still an amount of suspension of disbelief that needs to go. How floaty is King Boo? I'd say maybe... I don't know. How floaty do you think he should be, Brian? Maybe like Lucario?
I was actually gonna consider maybe making him around the same floatiness as DDD.
DDD? But probably with a bit more aerial mobility? I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah, the air mobility that he probably used to have, but then Sakurai felt, nah, we need to nerf that.
Yeah, so he'd have a bit more horizontal ability than DDD does, but he'd be as floaty as DDD. But the difference here is that DDD has 5 jumps, or 5 or 6 jumps, I forget how many exactly, but King Boo only has the 2. Oh, okay, that was one that I saw a lot of. What was the name of that Boo? Because I will count that as something. Because I won't count that necessarily as a mistake. But if I knew about it or thought about it, I probably would have included it. So I will count that as something for me to write down. There was a Boo that like sinks itself into the ground to like get low to the ground or even like the walls or ceilings and crawl around. What was the name of that Boo? Because people suggested that King Boo be able to crawl by using that kind of Boo power. What was that called? King Boo. Oh, Zage, welcome to the party. Thank you. Stretch. Okay, Stretch Boo. Thank you. Be able to crawl like a Stretch Boo. There we go. Okay. Because that's a case where if I realized that Boo existed, I probably would have included that as a thing. So yeah, that is something I'll include. Why not swap down air and down smash? The down smash was the shockwave. The down air was the tongue swing. I guess they're interchangeable. I guess I think a part of it was I didn't want King Boo to have an immediate way to get back to the ground. Because that's generally what falling down smash, what falling down airs are for. They're more so designed to help a character to get to the ground faster if they need to. Can King Boo possess people? I mean, I think canonically he can. Oh, geez, hold on. I already feel my throat getting soggy. That's not good. And I forgot to get a bottle of water. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I need to get myself some water. Give me 1 second.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, seriously, stay hydrated.
BJ leaves when I finally come back. Oh, of course.
BJ, how dare you?
The minute you leave, your secretary finally returns.
Jeez.
Just my luck.
So, everyone, welcome Danny to the stream.
So, how's everybody in the chat doing so far? Hope you all have been enjoying yourselves.
Danny, take over the channel.
It's like, alright, that's it. Just for that, I am committing mutiny on the channel.
Okay.
What? Oh.
Stay hydrated, everybody. Wait, did Danny just come in?
Yeah.
I just came in.
You left her.
Wow.
How dare you?
Literally, the second you said I'm gonna be right back was when I unmuted myself. I was like, of course.
Well, all right then. But yeah.
All right, but
Stay hydrated.
yeah, screw your hydration. I have Oreos.
I can't eat Oreos. They'll make me sick. Okay.
Weak.
All right. So.
Hey, so I see Doomslayer and Goose are okay.
Yeah. Like they're pretty good for the most part. Yeah. So there's a couple of things to talk about for King Boo. Like, this is now Danny's channel. BJ, get out of here. I mean, I don't think Danny would have very good luck trying to explain all this stuff.
Yeah. It's like, it's cool. That's it.
King Boo technically wasn't technically in Mario Sunshine. That was just Goop. I mean, it's still a reference to use, so I don't think it really matters. Why is my name BrawlFan1? I came up with this username back when Brawl Super Smash Bros. Brawl was first like in development before it came out, just to have just to make a YouTube channel to make some comments on somebody that I was watching about Brawl at the time, and then I kind of just never changed it. All right. So, anything else about King Boo? Am I gonna make recaps for mistakes and issues 1 to 20? Well, after we finish Asgore, like at the end of the stream, that's usually when I open up a debacle for anyone asking questions about any character that I've done. So we can do that then.
I see Oof Game said for King Boo's shield, he could have multiple boos huddle around and lose more boos as his shield gets smaller.
That'd be a fun idea. Does down air spike? No. No, I think King Boo would not have the ability to spike. Maybe King Boo's rapid jab can be a rapid hit from his tongue. It could be. I just prefer the idea of a bunch of little boos like coming out of his body and just tackling forwards a little while. That's just a much more fun idea for me.
Come, my children. Destroy my enemy.
I feel like the Wisp attack seems like too much setup for too little reward, with it only doing little damage. That's kind of supposed to be the point too, like because King Boo has what I call, I guess, boss character strategy, where they have a lot of attacks that, you know, are designed with the idea of like they have a lot of versatility, but they also generally leave the character open. So, well, maybe versatility was the wrong word. Like, they're generally good attacks that leave them open. Like Bowser, Ganondorf, DDD, they all have the same kind of thing. And the idea of the wisp, like, you don't necessarily have to use the inhale. You can just shoot them out if you want to. And just leave it at that. You don't have to inhale them. But that's an option if you want to use it.
Characters with moves that have big payoff with little setup, cries and Jigglypuff.
Okay. Someone says when King Boo loses a match, he should be trapped in a portrait in the post-match screen.
That'd be funny.
Luigi taught them all how to do it.
I feel like King Boo's Final Smash should be different. It's good, but I feel would work better as a Final Smash for Boolossus. King Boo should have something like summoning a bunch of ghosts.
I mean, that's what it is, though. He summons a bunch of boos to come inside of him and make him big. Like, I mean, I'm not doing Boolossus. Like, I'm not doing any more boos. King Boo is the boo representation. That's the idea. It's just like how Piranha Plant is the Piranha Plant representation. PD Piranha might still be on the table, but we're not going to see any other Piranha Plant, characters. Piranha Plant is the Piranha Plant rep. And to me, I think one of the most iconic things for boos to do when they get serious is to combine together and get bigger.
Mr. Maniac says, considering how Boolossus is a carbon copy of King Boo in Mansion 3, Boolossus is an echo?
Again, it's just the crown problem. He needs the crown.
Gotcha. Okay, no one is here says, Goose's peck theft should be able to steal projectiles like a pocket, but he can't use them and they just disappear.
We talked about this earlier, how if the projectile is an item that you can hold, then yeah. But being able to actually stop projectiles, I'm going to say no to that, just for balancing purposes. What happens if King Boo inhales Heavy Sandwich? I don't think he can. Because the only things that can enter King Boo's mouth, aside from the wisps that he himself spits out, are things that are shot at him. He can't inhale things off the ground. And if you pick up Heavy Sandwich, then you just eat it. You don't, you won't hold it as an item, you just eat it. So I don't think you can.
Dark Meta Knight asked, why didn't you use the illusion balls from Dark Moon and Mansion 3?
The illusion balls? Remind me what those were again? Like what they do? Because more than likely I wrote them down. It was probably just another case of the other attacks that I chose I much preferred. Because, again, remember, there's only so many slots for attacks. Like, there are just going to be some things that are just not going to get included. Remind me what the illusion balls were?
Someone says the dark light balls? The illusion balls make stuff appear invisible.
I don't know. Well, I guess, okay, if that's what they do, thinking about it logically, what would that do for an attack? Like, if all they do is make things invisible, they were nukes.
It's what King Boo uses to make things disappear until you suck them out.
How could that be used for a Smash moveset then? Spirit balls.
Spirit balls, Invisiballs, Ghost balls, balls. That's all it is.
Maybe replace the side. I'm not replacing the side B. The spike balls are iconic to King Boo. He used spike balls in every single fight that he's done. The spike balls are staying. Oh, I don't know why I'm even saying that. The moveset isn't changing at all, so.
Spirit balls these Goku.
Thanks, Maniac.
Oh, excuse me.
He didn't use spike balls in the Mario Party 9 fight? No, but he used them in all 3 Luigi's Mansion games.
Okay. I'm seeing a couple of people at this point now. They're saying I think they're ready to move on to the binding of the babies.
Are we? Yeah, looks like. Are we ready to move on?
David Sider says, I have a question. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine? If I was not okay, I wouldn't be streaming.
I mean, unless you're trying to make a Terry reference.
Okay. All right. I think.
Yeah, I'm seeing people. Yeah, I think people want to get to the bobbies.
Alrighty, moving on then. Binding of Isaac. So let's just get the big thing out of the way. The Brimstone. No, that is a blood laser. That's not going into Smash. Getting that out of the way now. And we're not talking about it again. Now, there were other objects that I know people brought up that could have been involved that maybe I should have considered. The knife, mother's knife. Sure, I probably could have included that. But generally, the things that I did include, were I tried to avoid things that just seemed too graphic for Smash. That was my first priority, and I will admit that probably was a bit, that was a mistake. Oh. Beat you to it, Maniac. Yeah, like that, I probably did have my priorities a bit wrong, because I think that was a case where I was more focused on trying to keep the moveset, family friendly, more than I was what was really iconic to the character. So that's a my bad on my part. But really, it kind of just boils back down to, it seems like people didn't really have problems with the moveset itself. They were more so concerned about what items were and weren't included. So.
Anyway, Maniac provided a, I guess this is the picture of the Brimstone attack, for you to put on screen so you can kind of show people. Because it kind of seemed like, because I noticed when you premiered it, I did notice there were a fair amount of people that, I guess maybe the name Brimstone is a little misleading, because usually, Brimstone is synonymous with fire, but it's not a fire attack. He's literally spitting blood out.
See, I would show it, but I'm not going to, because it's a blood laser. I'm not showing that in the video. Just look it up for yourself. Look up Binding of Isaac Brimstone, and you'll see what we're talking about. And people keep saying, change it to fire, change it to an actual laser. But at that point, it's not Brimstone anymore. So what's the point? So, I just felt it was... Think of it like this. Here's the best way for me to put this. It got my Shiranui. That's the best way for me to put this. My Shiranui is super important to King of Fighters and Fatal Fury, but she wasn't included because she's not safe for all the good boys and girls that play Smash. So that's just what happened here. She got my Shiranui.
Those boobies are too strong. Those boobies are too strong.
She got my Shiranui, and we're leaving it at that. In any which case.
Also, I saw somebody say, want me to wish them a happy birthday. So I am now wishing you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. How long does side special last? It's a quick slide. It's really just it's shh. and that's it. It doesn't last very long. It's a very quick slide.
Oh my god. Okay. Charge Foxy, I love this. This is a great idea. Isaac's boxing ring title, when you eventually do get to this stream, should be top tier character.
That's pretty funny. I'll keep that one in mind.
Please keep that in mind. That's gold.
D6. Okay, that was another thing that I saw a lot of people brought up. Like, a lot of people suggested the idea of because there's an item in Binding of Isaac called D6 that allows you to like shuffle the items on the current floor that you're on. So some people suggested the idea of having his default down special being D6, and then letting you shuffle any current items that are on screen. So that way, try to help you better get what you want, and then when you do pick up a familiar, you lose the D6 for that familiar. That's a nifty idea. My only issue with that is I feel like that will probably make Isaac a bit too controllable, because the idea is that you're supposed the moveset is kind of built around the idea of you not being able to control what you get, and it's all it is luck based. It is. Like, I know people hate luck in Smash, but that's supposed to be the point. That's how it is in Binding of Isaac. That's how it is here. I wouldn't mind the idea of D6 being an item that you can find, but for it to just be the default down special, I don't agree with. Can you pocket mom? No, you can't.
I just have an entire mom in my pocket. It's fine.
Yeah, like I know when you use the what was it? The priestess card for the mother's leg, it is severed off, so that is pretty graphic. But I think in the context for Smash, they would just show that they just wouldn't show that part. Like, I guess it would still be attached to the mother. Either that or like there would be like a cloud or something above like where the mother's leg comes out, so you never see what's inside of that cloud. So something like that.
I see some Oof Game I saw asked, would the Binding of Isaac items that fall be treated as normal items that can be thrown to non-Isaac players? Or
No.
are those just only Isaac can get those?
Yeah, I talked about this in the video. Like, only they are Isaac. They are items that only Isaac can interact with. Like, players cannot pick them up. They just walk through them. They may as well not be there for other players. Only Isaac can interact with them.
Okay.
It's like Bayo's down smash. If Bayo's down smash was gigantic. Brimstone got my Shira Nuid. I probably spelt that wrong, but I don't care.
Yeah, close enough.
Where's the music? It's playing. Can you not hear it? Is it too quiet? Alright, so...
It looks like, apparently it's playing. Because somebody's asking, why is Porky music playing when not at Porky yet?
I guess, okay,
We always
so...
have time for Porky.
What would happen to Isaac if the final smash is used off stage with the reticle off stage? Would he be spiked? Well, no, the final smash won't ever hurt Isaac. It's just kind of a really cruel reference, more so. Like, it's like the idea is that because the final smash how the final smash works is that a reticle appears like that like moves left and right, and then the foot will come down like down straight until it touches a solid part of the stage, to smash that part. It ignores platforms. If the reticle is above, like the blast zone where there's no stage, the foot will then instead automatically hit the spot where Isaac is standing. Now, it won't hurt Isaac. It's more so referencing the idea of the mother is punishing Isaac for trying to get rid of her. That's kind of what's happening here.
I'll say okay. I guess someone actually brought up an interesting point. So would the announcer just say Isaac for between the binding of Isaac and the Golden Sun Isaac? So when the announcer would say this one wins, would he say anything different, or would he just say Isaac on both of them?
He just say Isaac on both of them because that happens for Roy, Fire Emblem Roy, and Koopaling Roy. He just says Roy. He doesn't say anything different. So
yeah, although he has a different recording for each one, where one was Roy, and then Roy.
Yeah, so I imagine like they to help differentiate it, he'd probably say so like maybe like for Binding of Isaac he'd say Isaac, but for Golden Sun Isaac it'd be like Isaac. So like maybe like a lot more a lot more cheerful for the Golden Sun Isaac, but then a lot more just dreadful sounding for the Binding of Isaac.
Like
That makes sense.
Isaac.
Somebody save this.
All right. Anything else?
If Isaac was inhaled, would Kirby get default tears, or would they be altered by Isaac's item?
Well, he doesn't get tears. He gets bombs. And Kirby would only get the default bombs. Like he wouldn't. I do mention this actually in the video. If Kirby inhales Isaac, he gets the bombs, but then at that point, Kirby is able to pick up Binding of Isaac items, but only the bomb items. So Kirby can change his bombs if inhaled Isaac.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the hat? Well, we haven't decided on that yet. We'll get to Isaac Kirby when we get to him. Could Goose steal Isaac's items? No, but he can steal his attacks. So technically.
So yes, but also no.
Alright, so anything else on Isaac then? Are we done with Isaac? Can we move on to Isaac?
Yeah, I think we're done talking with Isaac. Let's talk about Isaac.
We're done talking about Isaac. Let's talk about Isaac.
Okay. Someone I know someone was asking me, Danny, did you see the new Kirby hats that BJ made? I did see the Kirby hats that he made when he posted them on Twitter. And what are your thoughts on Min Min? Min Min definitely she looks like an interesting character, but she also looks like a very technical character, and those are not the kind of characters I play, so I probably would not do Min Min justice.
Yeah, Kirby can't cry. That's illegal. Thank you, Maniac. All right, I think we're good to move on then. All right. So next up, Golden Sun Isaac, as well as Felix as the Echo Fighter. So, were there any mistakes or issues, or just something you want to talk about in terms of Isaac or Felix?
Shadowfang says, Danny, I followed you on Twitter and I want to say why. It's like, why what?
When Isaac loses a match, it should show a piece of paper referencing the game over.
Nah.
Why isn't Felix a cat?
Why doesn't he have his purse? I don't know. Did you replace Isaac with someone less swordy? No. Isaac's lore wasn't accurate? What I mess up on it?
King Golden sent Isaac, he's biting Isaac's item.
Loved the moveset, but you feel like the hand was underutilized? Well, that's the funny thing. People think about the hand mostly because of what Sakurai put Isaac in for Smash, but the interesting thing is that you don't actually see the hand all that often in Golden Sun. It's used for puzzles. When you do fights, you don't ever use the hand in fights. You use the synergy, like the different kinds of elemental synergy. You don't actually see the hand all that often. Like it's used for puzzles.
Yeah. It's like I know I played the first Golden Sun game a long time ago. So I mean I will freely admit I don't remember too much about the original Golden Sun because it just has been that long since I played it. But from what I remembered, it was like, yeah, the hand it's not a battle spell whatsoever. You're using it for pushing puzzles. You know, that's why it's so weird. You know, it's an interesting take in Smash that it's like, you know, okay, they found a way to kind of make it more appropriate for fighting, but in the original game, you know, yeah, you're pushing blocks out of the way or you're doing puzzles. That's what the spell was primarily used for. It was a utility spell.
You should make Isaac's sword attacks more original. He shares his sword attacks with most of the cast. That's an interesting thing about sword character. It's like there's only so many ways to swing a sword or stab a sword. So like if you try starting to make, you know, sword swings more original, you're going to get Hero's jab. Like Hero's sword jab is literally just him doing this. It's stupid. I hate it. It's really dumb. Like, I would have preferred him just to copy some other character instead of just having this. Like, what is this? Like, why is he doing that? It's so stupid. Like, that's kind of a big thing about how... Because here's kind of, and here's going to be an inevitable problem with that both my series as well as Smash Brothers as a whole is going to face at some point. There's only so many ways to do an attack with in a certain kind of way. So when you get so many characters, you're going to notice a bunch of repetitiveness because, again, there's only so many effective ways to, you know, throw a punch or to, you know, throw a kick, swing a sword. There's only so many ways to do it. And if you try being different just for the sake of being different and looking different, I promise you it's going to look more stupid than anything else. Or it's just not going to be effective. Like, again, who swings a sword like this? Nobody! It's stupid! It's stupid! Like, I love the hero in Smash, but that's the one thing I hated about that moveset. Was how he... Like, I can tell that was Sakurai just trying to find a new way for him to swing his sword. And it's stupid. I would much rather just have attacks look like other attacks and be effective than try to be different and make it look ridiculous.
Here's jab is just him chopping onions.
He's chopping onions, sure. You swing a sword like that? Well, you're doing it wrong.
He's chopping onions. Good. Your tears fuel me.
Sadly, there really is no way to stay 100% original in anything. You're absolutely right. Like, we're at a point in media in general where everything's been done. I guarantee you, even if you think you thought of something new or original, someone else has already done it. I promise you. It's not necessarily... You should never be different for the sake of being different. Just just do it well. That's what people want to see. Just do it well. Let's see.
Mr. Maniac wants to know, the only issue I have, where's Isaac number 3?
See, I would have. I feel like that joke probably ran its course for just doing Isaac twice in a row. Doing two Isaacs in a row. Plus, there really wasn't any other Isaac that... Because there are other Isaacs that have been requested, but not to the extent of Binding or Golden Sun. So just to do another Isaac, just for the sake of writing that... Just for the sake of beating that horse 3 times in a row, it would be pretty forced. I thought it'd be funny, just to do it, just to do that. But I think just doing a one-time joke would be enough. Isaac lends a hand. That's funny. So I guess, were there any other issues with... Oh, Malik, thank you. Blame the stupid toxic Smash fans for too many sword fighters. Yeah, that horse has already been, beat up by the swords, so...
It's been made into glue.
Starlight Magician says, what if for Felix's up smash he uses bamboo spikes instead of stalagmites?
Bamboo... I could see that. Well, well, for the up smash, it wasn't stalagmite, it was vine. It was vines, wasn't it? I thought I made it vines. Yeah, I don't think it was it was vine. He used grow, whatever it was.
Wasn't there a different attack that you used stalagmites for? Maybe that's what they're referring to.
The down air. Bless you.
Oh, bless myself.
Like, because I know, the side smash was where the Jin imbued the sword for a powerful attack. The up smash, I believe, was the vines that grow upwards. The down smash was the quake, whatever that attack was called, where the two earth platforms go up. There was one attack that involved the stalagmite, but it was it had the user surround their sword in rock and then stab it downwards, like that. Dang it, YouTube, stop. Okay. Keep my music going. Can I cook the goose? What does geese taste like? That's a question.
No clue.
Tastes like chicken.
Down smash is earthbending. What came first, Golden Sun or Avatar?
I think Golden Sun did.
So really, Avatar copied Golden Sun. So there you go. It's literally earth, fire, wind, and water. So.
I mean, also to be fair as well, you could also argue, Dungeons and Dragons kind of had the whole thing with the monk in the way of the 4 elements.
I suppose.
That's literally what Avatar is, just a bunch of 4-element monks just fighting each other.
Alright, so I guess, is there anything for Isaac then? Isaac or Felix?
Does not look like it.
Are we good to move on then?
I think we're good.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
No major issues with Isaac or Felix. Cool. So next up, Porky or Pokey. So question: who caught on that? That I kept going through the names, Porky and Pokey. So a little context for that, because there were a lot of people. I was a little surprised by the fact that not a lot of people really knew about that. So here's the context: when Earthbound came to America, he was called Porky. Now, I always thought originally that Porky was his Japanese name, but that's actually not the case. His Japanese name is Pocky. So, Porky, I think, is a more direct translation of the word Pocky. I think that's what the case was. But when Earthbound originally came up, they just took Pocky and turned it into Pokey. So really, both names are correct, but Porky is seen as the more generally accepted one. Because I guess because that is what's more, because even in Smash Brothers, he's called Porky. Like in Smash Brothers Brawl, they call him Porky. So really, both are correct. But I thought it'd be funny just to kind of keep alternating between the names. And it was funny to see how many people were like, hey, you misspelled Porky's name in the video. And I'm just like, no, I didn't. So. Porky makes more sense since Mother 3. Well, that was a fan translation, too.
Yeah, because, bear that in mind, guys. Mother 3 is still not gotten an official translation.
Yeah, but officially...
We're still waiting on one.
Yeah, but officially, he was called Porky in Smash, so there really is at least that. But I guess, aside from that now, were there any issues with Porky's moveset? Because, like, I know one thing that I saw a few people see were that they didn't like the idea of me putting him into a mech. They would have preferred him fighting outside the mech, close quarters. Because I guess apparently some other people, made movesets like that where he fights outside the mech. I disagree with that. Because my thing is, Porky is a coward. It doesn't make much sense to me for the character to fight outside of some kind of weapon. That's just me, though. Oh. I have quite the issue with Porky, but that's not for the stream, and I'm leaving it at that. Okay. I guess.
Blue Crease says, I have an idea for the down special, which would have Porky set out chimeras from Mother 3 to do one out of many things to the fighters on stage.
What did I make for his down? I personally prefer the PSI counter device, if only because he spams that thing during the Mother 3 boss fight. It felt kind of wrong to not include that because he spams it so much.
Dark Meta Knight says his final smash should just be the statue. The soldiers are overkill.
Isn't that the point? Porky is pretty overkill.
Porky don't care.
Why?
Victor Gamer says give him his bed mech. I think what he was like in Subspace Emissary.
Ignoring the too big thing. I don't know. I just feel like the spider mech resonated a little more, like the Earthbound mech. I feel like that. I know more people probably think of the bed mech more nowadays, thanks to the Subspace boss fight and things like that. But I just feel like in terms of its shape, the Earthbound one just worked better. Again, that just goes back to a personal preference thing for me anyway, because I feel like there was just a lot more that can be done mobility-wise with the Earthbound mech than the spider mech, than the bed mech. I feel like the bed mech was a bit more limited.
Someone asked, random question, do you like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
I do, I love that show.
Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. Yeah, however the hell it is that Noxtalk who pronounces that.
I think his final smash should involve Gygas. I prefer the pig army and the statue because that's more representative of Porky himself.
Also, you cannot contain the power of Gygas.
This won't get read out loud. If it does, I'll eat my hand. Well, rest in peace your hand. Crusade used the bed mech in their lives and they made it work. I'm not saying it can't work. I just prefer the Earthbound mech. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to do, like, with the Earthbound mech than there is it just feels like the bed mech's too limited. Like, in terms of mobility, anyway.
Someone asked, the bubble shield around him should crack like how Olimar's helmet does when he gets hit.
Sure. Are you taking requests? Yes, we are.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've started keeping tabs.
Give him his friend Yo-Yo? Yo-Yo, what? Are you referring to because he has it, like, on display in his tower? I don't think that means he'd ever use it. The heck?
Oh, you okay?
Was Fist Bump an Ultimate? I guess it was. The Forces song. What came out first? Forces or Ultimate? Am I crazy?
What? Wait, what?
Sonic Forces. Did Sonic Forces come out before Ultimate?
Yeah, it did.
Huh. Alright then. I did not realize that song was in Ultimate. Interesting. Alright, anyway,
Well, yeah, and like, yeah, isn't Infinite a spirit?
You're right,
Yes.
you're right, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was getting my dates crossed. Anyway.
Let's see. I saw someone ask me, Danny, did you know that Revolutionary Girl Utena has a video game? Yes, I believe it was a Saturn game, but of course it never left Japan, so missed out on that one.
You think I should make a song like my own Sonic moveset because the current one sucked? I disagree. Cause here's the thing. If I made a Sonic moveset, it probably wouldn't be that much difference. Because here's the thing. People seem to not like Sonic. Because they say he looks so bland, he's so simple. 2 spin dashes, what the heck? Are you forgetting that this is a Sonic game, and that Sonic, compared to all the other characters that are generally playable around him, is the bland character? Like, Sonic doesn't have a lot of variety in what he does. He does a lot of flips and tricks. He doesn't have any other additional abilities, and I know people suggested ideas for him, like that rev-up attack that he has in battle, where he revs up and shoots the wind. Do you want to give Sonic a projectile? No, you do not.
Oh, what's that? I gotta camp more? Well, don't mind if I do.
Because here's my thing. What would I change? What would I change? That would not make the move, that would not make him even worse than he already, that people claim that he already is. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Sonic. I really don't. Like, because I think if you gave him projectiles, he'd be way too broken. Like, that's why I needed to make Metal Sonic hard to control, because I was giving him projectiles. The boost? So you want him to be faster. Got it.
No, not just faster, but also be surrounded by an entire hitbox.
Yeah. So you want him to be more broken. Okay, got it. Anyway, back to Porky. Is there anything else on Porky that people that have issues with?
Can Porky move while charging the up special?
No. He's stuck in place. Actually, fun fact, I did originally think about letting him do that, but when I thought about it, I was like, that doesn't sound balanced. So I opted to just have him stay in place. Like as another fake out kind of move. Like, he can either jump up and then come down, or he can jump up, and if you think your opponent's going to anticipate you coming down, charge up and just shock him.
Nico Volt says his side special. I hate everything about that side special.
I do too. But I think, it's super appropriate for Porky. So he's a gross kid. Wario approves. How is his dodge roll and air dodge? Well, the air dodge, we just have him kind of just move his mech out of the way. Dodge roll, you just roll in the mech. Like, because the mech itself is pretty... And that's actually another reason why I thought the Earthbound mech would work a little better than the bed mech, because the Earthbound mech is round. So that can allow for a bit more mobility in general. Whereas the bed mech is like this square. It's flat. So I feel like that'd be a bit more awkward.
All right, I'll answer this question because I'm seeing a couple people are asking you, BJ, if you have watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No, he is not. But should the day come that JoJo will end up on this show, that's why he has us, myself, Ryan, and Brian. The three of us can handle and give him all the JoJo information he needs.
Please don't soak the
We
fires.
keep.
What?
Yeah. We keep up with it. It's like, like all of us have seen the anime. I keep up with the manga. I keep up with JoJolion every month. So trust me, we can get JoJo covered.
All right. In which case, Porky's shield should be a safety orb? No, because then he'd never be able to get out of it. All right. So anything else on Porky then? Can Porky swim? Yeah.
Maybe change his name from Porky to Spanky.
That's not my call. What's the downward range of the B up special? Good question, actually. I don't want to say it has an infinite range. Obviously, I think it would stop at a point. How far it would go, I don't know. I think that's a case of we have to see it in action to really know how far it should go for the sake of balancing. Should he take damage in water because he's in a mech? Brian, do Rob and Mega Man take damage in water?
No.
So, okay. Alright. So no then. No need. Plus, it's like, it's not the mech, it's like, it's not like he's getting hurt, it's the mech, it would be the mech anyway, so not like it matters. Alright, so we good to move along? I think we're good to move along.
Okay. And
Yeah.
okay. And then before you go, I can read off the list real quick because some people are asking.
Okay.
So far I have Chun-Li, Quote, Bubsy, Zidane, Quagsire, Big the Cat, Lord Amor, the Murder Monkeys from Dark Deception, Jonesy, Ninjara, 2B, Dante, Muffet, Bart, Decidueye, Noriaki Kakyoin, Chrono, Rick Sanchez, Lloyd Irving, Dementio, Infinite, Goro Akechi, Isaac Clarke, Octoling, Mickey Mouse, Dio Brando, Genji, Giorno Giovanna, and Yoshikage Kira.
All right. And then I saw someone ask, do the Porky bots have some kind of health on them? No, I believe I make them explode on contact, if I recall correctly. I might be misremembering. Regardless. All right, let's go ahead and move on then. So next up, Scorpion. So let me get another big one out of the way for Scorpion that I know a lot of people bring up. Why isn't Toasty or a Fatality a Final Smash? Because it's not a super move. Fatalities are glorified victory animations. You don't ever actually use them during the fight. Whereas...
Okay, don't you mean glorified victory animation?
Leave now. Whereas the characters do have super moves. They like the X-rays. Like they do have proper X-rays. So, plus honestly, like because when everyone thinks of the Fatality, they're thinking of Toasty, the fire breath. What would be more interesting? Scorpion beating up somebody in this flashy ass cinematic, or just breathing fire on them? Bowser. You want him to do Bowser? That's boring. No. Like, I think... That's why I think it's just... Because, again, fatalities are glorified victory animations. That's all they are. So, that's my stance on that. So, fatality... I disagree with fatalities being final smashes because they are just glorified victory animations. Plus, I do want a certain amount of consistency within these videos. And while you can argue that the Toasty can work as a final smash because he's just breathing fire on you, that can be toned down. Are you gonna sit here and tell me that Scorpion or that other fatalities can work in the same way? Like, do you really think that Sub-Zero would be able to get away with pulling somebody's head with the spine out as a final smash? You think they're gonna get away with that? No. So
Don't worry, guys. It's just a prop.
So that's why I just prefer the idea of the X-rays being the final smash and save references to the fatalities as victory animations because that's what they are. All-out attacks are glorified? No, they're not. All-out. You're referring to Joker's all-out attacks, like the all-out attacks in Persona 5? No, they are not. Those do those. Those are actually attacks that deal a lot of damage. They don't necessarily end the fight. Oh, thank you, Hype Train. Yeah, the all-out attacks, those just deal a lot of damage. They can end the match, and they have flashy endings if they do end it. But if the opponent, but if they don't deal enough damage, the opponent will still be alive. So no, that's a super move. That is not a victory. It just has a flashy victory if it ends with a victory, but it's not a victory. Oh yeah, hold on. Perfect Angels, I think is what it says.
Yeah. Instead of buy a Scorpion doll, say buy a Scorpion amiibo.
That was an idea that I loved. I saw a few people suggest that in the comments when that came out. Like that's a brilliant idea. I love that. Oh, Chris and Antonia, thank you for subbing.
Mr. Maniac asks, one personal nitpick I have. When talking about how the FS would need to be tuned down and uses Injustice X-Ray as an example, why not just make it the Injustice X-Ray?
It could just be the Injustice X-Ray, but like, I also wouldn't mind. Like, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's literally just him beating you up and then ending with a really strong attack. That's really just what the extent of what it is. So it could just be the Injustice X-Ray, because that is a safe one to use. But I also wouldn't mind it being original, because in every single Mortal Kombat game since the X-Rays were introduced, he's done something different. So that's just my reasoning for it. Hype Train, thank you. Yeah, that's just my reasoning for it. Like, he doesn't ever just use one. It's always different. So I think the idea of him, he's in this new fighting game, he should have another new one. Kind of just, because why not? Okay, that was another thing that I saw a lot of people write up. Why? So a big question that I also got on Scorpion. Why didn't I make the alts references to the other ninjas? And my reasoning is because he has alts. It's for the same reason, like, why aren't Ryu and Ken's alts references to the other Street Fighter characters? Because they have existing colors. There's no reason to. Now, my thing about making it an easy reference, what happens when and if I eventually make movesets for those other ninjas? Am I going to do the same thing? I would rather not. That'd be pretty lame. So that's just my reasoning for that. He has existing colors. There's no reason to give him made up. Like, generally when I give characters made up colors, it's because they don't have any other options. But if they do have the options, I generally want to prioritize those. Why isn't cooking with Scorpion a victory animation?
Well, Dark Meta Knight also said one of the victory animations should be his Mortal Kombat 11 friendship.
I think it was just too late. I think that trailer came out I think it was just a case of it was just too late in development. Because by the time that trailer came out, I was already pretty much done with the Scorpion moveset.
All right, and then somebody had asked, what is your opinion on Sub-Zero not being an Echo fighter?
They wouldn't work. Sub-Zero would not work as an Echo fighter. They fight too differently. They have the same body type, but they fight too differently. Like, they use completely different martial arts. They have drastically different attacks. Sub-Zero would be his own character. Let's see, what else? Can his victory animation act like Sub-Zero from Injustice Thank you, Hype Train. As I say, no guts, no gory. Jeez. As for referencing Sub-Zero's Injustice, well, that's kind of what I did. Like, one of Scorpion's victory animations was technically him using the toasty. He just wasn't using it on anybody aside from the ground. So it was a reference to his fatality. He just wasn't actually using it as a fatality. All right. So anything else on Scorpion then?
Does not look like it.
Okay, I guess we're good. All right, so next up. Komasan and Komajiro, the Komainu brothers of Yokai Watch. So let's see. Did anyone have any issues with Komasan and Komajiro? And if you say you do, how dare you? They are precious. Don't you dare have any issues with them.
Oh.
Okay, if you have any issues or mistakes about any of these movesets, please do say so now. Except for those two, okay? It's like...
Yeah,
right.
the only real issue is that not enough people are playing Yokai Watch!
So, okay, let's take it down a notch.
How do these specials work if Komasan dies and Komajiro lives?
It just like Ice Climbers. If Komasan is KO'd and Komajiro is still alive, then Komajiro just disappears. It's just like because Komajiro is always the secondary climber. Like the secondary character. You never play as Komajiro, only Komasan. So if Komasan is KO'd while Komajiro is still out, Komajiro just disappears and then respawns with Komasan. I want to cuddle Komasan and Komajiro. I do too.
They need to do the monkey dance more.
That's one of the victory animations. The real issue
Komasan should have a sad face when Komajiro is gone until he gets revived.
Oh, no, that'd break my heart. I don't want to see Komasan sad.
I was wondering why none of the alts swapped out the leader.
Well, I explained that in the video. Because they have separate powers. Like, Komajiro is always going to be working on... Unlike Popo and Nana, the Ice Climbers, who have the same exact powers, so they can be interchangeable, Komasan has fire magic and the ability to burn with his eyebrows, whereas Komajiro has lightning magic and the ability to speed up his allies with his tiger power. So I can't just alternate their their powers because that makes no sense. So it just makes more sense to just keep Komasan as the main fighter and have Komajiro always be the support. Because I can't alternate their abilities like that. That wouldn't work. Oh, actually, speaking of the blasters off, and I know someone, I remember someone asked a while back, how would the Furoshiki attacks work if they're in the blasters and DJ outfits? I would just say at that point, they'd still have the Furoshiki on, they would just be in the costumes is all. So even though the pictures that I showed didn't show, even though the images that I showed didn't show them with Furoshiki, they would still have the Furoshiki. Should I play Yokai Watch or Klonoa? Well, I say Yokai Watch, but, you know.
Why not both? Question, are Komasan and Komajiro's favorite food the cinnamon bun?
No, in Yokai 1, and I think Yokai 2 as well, it was milk, but then as of Yokai 3, it was ice cream. Which I guess is still a milk product, so.
Okay. If Kirby copies Komasan, does he only have the version when Komasan is alone?
No, he'd get the double version.
Okay, the side special. Maybe instead of it going in one straight line, it could go at a small arc, referencing the fire attack animation Komasan does.
I thought about doing that, because that's actually what I did for Jibanyan's. Because Jibanyan also uses the fire attack, and that's what I did for Jibanyan. But I decided against it, if only because... Well, he said when Komasan's alone, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah. Yeah, like if Kirby was to suck up Komasan, the attack that he would get, would that be like the same? Would that have like the same strength as, you know, when Komasan is with Komajiro, or just Komasan by himself?
Hold on, I think we're getting mixed up here. When Kirby sucks up Komasan, he'd have the base neutral special when they're together. But for the fire attack, I just opted to have it go in a straight line. Like, that's just... I guess also because... Here's kind of the interesting thing. Here's kind of where it does get a little mixed up. Because in Yokai 4, the fireball attack does go in a straight line. It no longer goes in an arc. But the interesting thing is that in Yokai 4, Komasan actually gets a flamethrower, not a fireball. But to make sure that it still worked with Komajiro's attack, I opted to keep it a fireball. So really, the straightforward fireball references the attack from Yokai 4, even though Komasan himself never actually gets that, but it was a fireball in the previous games, even though it does fly at an arc. It's just...
Okay, someone asked, what happens if Kirby sucks up Komajiro?
He just gets the... It'd be no different than if he sucks up Nana. He still gets the power.
Okay.
If the FB is spam... Oh, sorry?
I saw somebody earlier, I guess, was just wondering, there was a Yokai Watch 3, where did you get it? You want to tell that story?
Wait, Yokai Watch 3?
Or 4, whatever it was? Like, you know, the one that hasn't come out yet you got footage for it?
Okay, yeah, so let me explain Yokai Watch 4. So, some of you may remember that, Komasan and Komajiro were a week late. I had to push them off for a week. That was because I was playing through Yokai Watch 4, so I can get, you know, finish the moveset for them, or get new ideas, because technically, their moveset was done before I played Yokai Watch 4, but, I just got huge Yokai Watch withdrawal, and I really wanted to play 4, and I was too impatient to want to play it, so what I did was, I made a Japanese account on my Switch, bought Japanese eShop cards off of PlayAsia, and downloaded the game, the Japanese version of the game, so I can play it on my Switch. And I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I may as well see what Yokai Watch 4 has to offer to possibly update the Komasan and Komajiro's movesets to make it a little better. And that's what I ended up doing. So what took me so long was the fact that I had to translate the entire game. I literally had my phone sitting here. Hold on.
He's got like an app or
Google,
something.
Google Translate. I had here, which is had my phone pointed at my TV screen, translating every single line of this game so I knew what was going on. So that's what took me so long. Like, I ended up... It took me, like, I think, like, 80 hours of combined time to beat the game, mostly because I spent so much time translating everything. So...
That's what happens when the game hasn't come out over here yet.
Well, I understand why it hasn't come out yet, because it is a fairly recent release in Japan. Like, it came out, I think, in June of 19, and then a definitive version of it came out in December of 19. So it is still fairly new. And it is a huge text-based game. There's a lot to it. So, like, when and if, hopefully it does, when it does come here, get localized, I'm expecting either maybe, I'm hoping maybe for, like, late 2020, or maybe sometime next year. You know, assuming the pandemic doesn't, you know, halt that. Who knows? We'll see.
And I did see somebody ask, like, when you brought that up. So before you went back and edited the moveset after playing Yokai 4, what were some of the moves that you had originally before they got replaced with Yokai 4 moves?
I know the jab was changed. I changed the jab. Originally, that was just the triple attack from blasters, and then once I saw the 4-1 and thought that was better, I took the various parts of the triple attack and moved them to other attacks, which were originally just innovated moves. What else? 4 actually helped me fully realize how the neutral special would work. Because it was a tad different. I forget how I had it originally, but it was a tad different before. But then I saw Yokai 4 show how it's really kind of just like this whirlwind of flames and electricity from the two of them. So that was changed. The side smash was changed. Like literally, like I forget what I had originally. I think originally the side smash that I had for them was like a wave attack. But then I opted for just the strong punch, because that's what we saw in Yokai 4. So there's that. And then I keep seeing Kelly here saying that the up B should slow down because they get dizzy. I'm going to say no to that because there's plenty of up specials or just attacks in general where the characters spin, but they don't get dizzy afterwards. So I'm going to say no to that. Is Yokai Watch 3 look like? Yeah, Yokai Watch 3 is... Yeah, Yokai Watch 3 has been around since...
Yeah, that's been out for a couple of years, hasn't it?
Not a couple of... Well, not a couple... Localized, not a couple of years. I want to say early 2019. I want to say that came to America. Good luck finding it, though. You may have... That may be an Amazon buy. Because it is pretty rare now. Like, all the... Honestly, I think with the exception of 1 and 2, all of the Yokai Watch games are pretty hard to find nowadays. So...
And that was a 3DS.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 3DS, yeah.
Yeah, like isn't Yokai Watch 4 like the first one on the console?
Yeah, Yokai Watch 4 is for the Switch. And then they did also make a there was also a Switch port of Yokai 1, but that hasn't been localized yet either. All right, I guess in that case, getting back on topic, were there any other issues with Komasan and Komajiro's movesets?
Needs more swirls. I'm just seeing like a lot of people are just saying needs more swirls. There's not enough swirls.
Not enough swirls. Well, what could their name be as a pair? I think just Komasan and Komajiro would be... Like, I know a few people say that sounds too long, but Komasan and Komajiro! It's not that long to say.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine. Like, I think the Ice Climbers are only just called the Ice Climbers because, I don't know where the names Popo and Nana came from. I don't know if that was introduced for Smash or if that's what they were originally called, an Ice Climber. But I think they're just called Ice Climbers because the game is called Ice Climber. Like, so that's more to the few people that did play Ice Climber, that name is more recognizable than just Popo and Nana. Whereas people who play Yokai Watch know who Komasan and Komajiro are, so. was the Swirly Spiral the only up special I can think of for them? I had other ideas, but that was just the one that I opted for because it just made the most sense. Like again, because it references a big part of what they are. So.
Cameron Fleet asks, what happens to the combo moves if they're separated but they're both still alive? Like, what if they're not in like the general vicinity? Like, do they now become more like Rosalina and Luma, or what?
It really is just like Ice Climbers. Like, it doesn't matter whether separated or together. It's just a matter of when you use one attack, the secondary one still responds appropriately. Just again, just like with the Ice Climbers, the attack attributes will change depending. Like Komasan overall gets a little weaker and a little slower when Komajiro is not with them because he loses the alpha boost as well as the tiger power.
Can the goose steal Komajiro?
No. All right, so are we good to move along? I'm seeing people say that we're good to go. All right, I guess we're good to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So next up, Metal Sonic. All right. So, any issues with Metal Sonic?
How does Metal Sonic's copycat work? Does it scan a certain area similar to Palutena's Neutral B?
It will scan like the area immediately in front of Metal Sonic. So it doesn't have a very far range. It just gets the area immediately in front of him. So to an extent, it is kind of like Kirby's, because Kirby, yeah, he has the inhale and he sucks up the enemies, but it's still technically Kirby can really only suck up whoever's immediately in front of him. So it's pretty much the same kind of range. You're stealing.
What happens? Yeah, what happens when Metal Sonic picks up a metal box?
He turns into Metal Sonic.
He becomes silver, not Silver Sonic, but Silver Chrome Sonic.
What happens if Copy absorbs Copycat from Metal Sonic? Okay, I know there was a lot of questions regarding Kirby and how... Okay, so I should say this to get a couple things out of the way. If Metal Sonic were to scan another Metal Sonic, he would just get the homing attack. So let's just start with that. So if Kirby were to suck up Metal Sonic, Kirby would get the scan, and it would work the same way. If Kirby scans an opponent, it gets the usual stuff. So in a one-on-one, if Kirby copies Metal Sonic and then scans Metal Sonic, he would just get the homing attack. So I hope that answers that question.
Will you make a video on how others, what-if characters are treated by copycats?
Well, I show what those all are in the video itself. Like, I separate them all into categories, and I list off what characters fall under what categories, as well as the exceptions. Like, I know there were a few exceptions that I made. Like, I forget. I think I put Olimar under the MASH category, because it's kind of it's looking at, like, because you have to mash to pluck Pikmin, and then you also kind of, and then you throw them. So that's kind of what I was looking at for there. And then for Shulk, I didn't even look at his neutral special. I put him under the melee category, looking at his side special instead. So there were some exceptions. But I did list them all there. Sonic's side B and down B are practically the same thing. They do have differences. There are differences between them. Like there's some versatility between the two of them.
Okay. Chat. There we go. Okay. Metal Overlord has a rare attack where he uses Chaos Control to freeze time. Could that be a copy ability?
Nah. Like I know he used it, but that is something that's just more known for Shadow. So I opted to stick to what was more so known for Metal Sonic specifically, as opposed to what he copies.
Okay. Why'd you make Metals Up B the Emerald Dive and not the V Maximum Overdrive from Sonic CD?
I made the maximum overdrive as dash attack. Because the maximum overdrive is literally just him charging forwards while engulfed in fire, or whatever he's engulfed with. Whereas the Emerald Dive does seem to have a bit more. That does seem to be a bit more versatile in how he uses it. Can he copycat Sonic? Yes, and if he does, he gets the homing attack.
Can he use the Phantom Ruby before transforming in the final smash?
No. Well, no, he doesn't need to. And then, I saw someone mention, so what would he get if he copied Min Min? That's a good question, because Min Min's special, I'm going to count it as melee, because it's technically still melee. Because her special is literally just her punching with the right arm. So it's long range, but it's still a melee attack I'm going to count. So he'd get the homing attack from it.
Hopefully this isn't considered a spam, but how slippery is Metal Sonic? Very
slippery. Like, let's amp up Luigi by, 5. He's hard to control. That's the point. That's why, I needed to make him slip, to give him projectiles and then to still be as fast as Sonic. He needs to be hard to control. Like, a moveset like this, there's going to be a lot of self-destructs, for sure. That's the point. Like, as I kind of stated in the video as, a comparison, just like for Dr. Eggman, he's hard to control. But if you can master him, he's a threat. Because, Eggman has a hard time controlling him. Because he likes, Metal Sonic does his own thing most of the time. So.
Is Metal Sonic your favorite character in the Sonic series?
That would be Knuckles. Knuckles is actually my favorite. But I do love... Metal Sonic is definitely my favorite villain out of the Sonic series. And I would definitely put Metal Sonic up there.
Okay. In the list in Metal's video, you did not list the characters that you made.
I didn't see any reason to do so. Generally when I make these movesets, I make them with the idea that they by themselves are in. Not necessarily that the other characters around them are in. Just them alone.
Okay. Will Metal be voiced like in Heroes, or will he just make noises, like random machine noises like he does in the later games?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
Okay. Is he hydrophobic?
I'd like to say so, yeah. Probably. If only because he is the copy of Sonic, so...
Right. I mean, it's I know we just said the whole machine thing with, Rob and such, but it's but at the same time, he is supposed to be Sonic's copy, so... Which overrides which?
Ooh, we got Research of the Truth going on. Here we go.
The video needed more Organic the Hedgehog.
You can have that guy if you want him. I don't want him. He's trash. What kind of metal is he made of? I don't know. Ask Eggman. What happens if he copies...
Yeah, I was about to read that. It's what happens if Metal Sonic, if he copies his assist trophy?
Nothing. The same thing that would happen if Kirby tried to suck one up. Nothing would happen.
Okay, Cooper Wanimates is now claiming Organic the Hedgehog.
Alright. Have fun with him.
And Mr. Maniac wants him too. So, I don't know, cage match, I guess.
Where is Mecha Sonic? You're referring to the form... Okay. You're referring to the form that appeared in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but you're more so referring to the main antagonist of Super Mario Bros. Z, right? Why would he need to be included? I felt no reason to he's the golden form of that is referenced, but aside from that, this is just base Metal Sonic, so.
Is Metal Sonic hard to knock back?
No, he's very light. That was another big sticking point that I had to make in the video, that I had to kind of rant about with the weight, because technically Metal Sonic is way heavier than Sonic. I think, if I recall from what I looked up, Sonic is 77 pounds or something like that, whereas Metal Sonic is 200 something pounds. but I needed to make him very light in order, you know, to balance out his speed and projectile stuff to avoid the camping. Like, he's very hard to control and very easy to kill. That was the big point helping. Like, he has extremes. He's extremely fast. He has extremely good projectiles. So as such, he has extremely bad disadvantages. He's extremely slippery, and he's extremely easy to KO. He has a lot of extremes.
Why not any other Sonic robots as an Echo?
I guess I didn't really feel the need to. I know a lot of the other Sonic mechs don't really have exactly the same body type as Metal Sonic does. Like, Silver Sonic is a bit more clunky, Mecha Sonic is a lot taller and has a much more humanoid body. Yeah, I don't think they'd work.
Let me see. Why are you not listening to me? When Metal uses his final, when Eggman is controlling him, he turns into Mecha and uses his attacks from his hecking boss fight.
Mecha, you're referring to what people know from Mario Bros. Z. That's not canon. Metal Sonic does not turn into Mecha Sonic. Like, that's just not a thing that happens. Like, Mecha Sonic is a totally different robot that we only see once. Whereas, yes, we only see Metal Overlord once, but the concept of Metal Sonic himself, the concept of this Metal Sonic transforming into a huge machine is not uncommon to him. He's done that 3 times so far. So, well, granted, two of those times were the same robot, just different colors, but regardless, the point still stands. This Metal Sonic is the only one to transform into a giant robot. So that's where the idea came from. Whereas Mecha Sonic is a totally different robot that we only see once, is destroyed, and we never see it again. Yeah, the whole thing about Metal becoming Mecha, that was a Super Mario Bros. Z thing. That's a fan thing.
Why does copying Kirby or Peach or Villager give you missiles?
The idea is that it's a command grab type of thing. It's the other category. Like, I didn't, as tempted as it was to do so, I didn't want to give him too many different attacks. I felt just the 6 were fine. Because otherwise doing more than that probably would be overkill. But aside from that, it's like, because, like, for the most part, every special has some commonalities. Whereas, yeah, Peach, Villager, Kirby, those kind of just fall into an other category. And the idea of the crystal missile being something that you can use to trap people is kind of what I was going for with that.
Can the final smash last for 2 minutes? Like, just the ridiculously long transformation.
That might not be the best idea.
If Kirby had a copy ability, would Metal copy Kirby, or the character the copy ability came from?
That's a good question, actually. I didn't think about that. I suppose to make it more interesting, he could just copy. It could just be based off whoever he copied, or whoever Kirby copied. So just to make it more interesting, why not? I didn't think about that.
His down throw should reference his animal cruelty.
He steps. I already referenced to that in the victory animation. I much preferred the idea of him, like, using his claws as a defibrillator.
The transformation is the final smash.
All right, so sorry.
Yeah. What would Kirby's metal hat be to distinguish it from the Sonic hat?
It would just be it would look like Metal Sonic, not normal Sonic. We'll get to that whenever we do Metal Sonic, Kirby. All right. So do we have anything else for Metal Sonic then? Oh, the finger wag thing. I know a few people in the comments brought that up. I thought about making that a taunt, but then I thought I probably should have. You know what? I probably should have just mentioned. I probably should have just mentioned this in the video. I don't know why I didn't. I think that the finger wag thing that Metal Sonic does at the beginning of his CD and Mania races, that work as an idle animation because that's what Sonic does. Because Sonic's no finger wag thing, that's an idle animation for him. So that can be the same for Metal Sonic. It probably would have been smarter of me to actually make mention of that so people would know, but that's my bad on my part.
What would he get if he copied Inkling?
What did I list? Inkling. I think that's a hold range special if I recall correctly. Like it should be listed in the video. Like I have listed every single character and what their neutral specials, what they would give to Metal Sonic in the video.
What would signify which copycat ability Metal currently has?
I imagine it would like show up in like an icon by his by his damage percent. All right, so we good to go? We get to move on to the final character.
I suppose.
You have been noticed. I can't read your name though because it's in a bad color. Hold on. Phoenix something? Sorry. The text color is in a is like blends in with the background and I can't read it. Sorry. We should have fixed that someday.
Okay. All right. Anywho, so
I guess
what is this now?
Yep.
Is this King Fluffy Buns?
Yep. We're moving on to the final character, Asgore. All right. So, do we have any issues with Asgore? Aside from the fact that it's Undertale. I will keep doing Undertale characters so long as they get their most requests. That's just how it works. So, do we have any issues with the actual moveset itself?
Gray White says Asgore should grab with his trident. Down throw, he mercies them. Up throw, he points them up while being impaled on the trident and launches them up with fiery explosions.
Grabs with the trident? I mean, I guess... I guess it can be used for that. Yeah. Why is he so mad? He's stern. He's a king. He's ready to fight.
This is a general question. How many more Undertale characters are you planning to do?
As many as they keep getting requested. Can I turn off slow mode, please? Nope. If I did, I would not be able to see anything of what anyone's saying. Asgore's attack should deal more damage to children? That's not okay.
Oh, dude.
How large?
How large is the trident?
Fairly decent size. Like he'd have a pretty good amount of disjoint to his attacks for sure.
Why did you not give Asgore a black and white alt?
I forgot. So you know what? Let me actually write that. Oh, also, I should also mention, yeah, the one mistake I did make in the video as well. A typo. When I put the note about how the blue and orange attacks work, I accidentally wrote statting instead of standing. I should have said standing. So that's my bad. But I will make a note about that. The black and white battle color alt. Shortened to the point, I forgot about it. I forgot about it. And I will count that as a mistake on my part, because if I remembered it, I would have included it. Because that was like the one thing that was remaining, before Frisk anyway, because Frisk never really gets battle colors. Yeah, Papyrus, Undyne, Flowey, Mettaton. They all had black and white alts to represent battle colors. I literally just forgot about it. So that's my bad. Like, it just slipped my mind for some reason. I don't know how I forgot about it. I just did. If I remembered it, it would have been included. It wasn't a matter of me, choosing to not include it. I just forgot. So that's an oof on my part.
Okay. Somebody asked, or what's called, you gave Asgore the Hawaiian shirt for a costume, but his cape is used for some things.
His cape is used for what's his cape used for?
Like, did you use that in the moveset for anything?
No, he never uses his cape for it. It's just an aesthetical thing. He never uses his cape for anything. Like, there's attacks where he covers himself up with the cape, but that's just a case of he'll do the same animation, but you just won't. You'll just see what's going on under the cape now, or what would have been under the cape now. So, why were you so cruel to him? Because, oof.
Why does he have an ult from Deltarune?
That's not a Deltarune ult. That's just like in the pacifist run of, in the pacifist ending of Undertale, you see him in that shirt. The fact that Neutral B wasn't called Handy No, Heat Wave! Heat Wave! Come on, man! The mechanics... Wait.
Yeah, I was just about to read that.
Yeah, the mechanics shouldn't encourage camping, Okay, here's the thing. I see a lot of people say that, yeah, you can't camp against Asgore, but the Asgore would be camping. At first, he really can't. Because, again, there's the speed gimmick. The frame data gimmick. Because, here's something I should mention. And I guess that this is my bad for not really clarifying this a little more. Because I said in the video that it's his attack speed frame data that's affected. His running speed, his jumping speed, that doesn't change. That's all the same. And that, for the most part, is fairly sluggish. It's his attack speed that changes for the gimmick. So when he first starts, he's just slow in general. He's very slow. So the idea of being able to camp with as slow as he is would be very dangerous. So it's something, even if you want to camp, you gotta work for it a little bit. And that's a big reason why he's so heavy. He, more than likely, at the beginning of fights, Asgore probably will get beat up a little bit. It's a matter of surviving. So, and because he's slow, it's going to be hard to run away. You need to be offensive with Asgore, because that's what he does. That's what he does in his fights. He destroys the mercy button. He is offensive the entire time. It doesn't matter what you say to him. He is going to continue to be offensive, and he only gets stronger and harder the longer the fight lasts. And the idea is that in the fight with Asgore, you want to fight him and take him down as quickly as possible. That's the whole point of his character. And that's how it is for opponents fighting Asgore. You want to take him out as quickly as possible, otherwise he'll just get so much harder to deal with. It'll actually be a pain to do so. That is, like, that's the theming behind that. That's the theme. Like, am I coming across properly? Is it, like, do you get it? Like you want to take him out quickly. So the Asgore player himself, the idea is that it's going to be... it's going to be like using Regigigas in Pokemon. It's going to be hard to use at first, but if you can get the speed going, he becomes a threat. He becomes very powerful and very hard to deal with. And his weight should help with that in general.
Okay. I saw somebody earlier asking, like, what's called the smash attacks. I'm assuming that's the orange and blue attacks.
Yeah.
Is that spammable?
Not at first, because they're slow at first. Like, technically, every single one of his attacks can become spammable once he becomes really fast. Like, once he starts reaching his faster movements because of his gimmick, they can become spammable. But at first, nothing is spammable. It's all very, very slow. How would Kirby use the neutral special? I imagine it would be at the midpoint. Like, it wouldn't change for Kirby at all. There would be a midpoint to it, though. Like, I said in the video that I theorize that it can take maybe about 3 minutes for Asgore to reach his full speed. Let's say that when Kirby uses it, it would be, like, at around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Like that. Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Will you do Deltarune movesets? We're waiting for Deltarune to finish.
Yeah. I trust me, I know for a fact people want to see Deltarune movesets, but I'm not doing Deltarune movesets until the game is finished completely. Because we don't know everything about the characters yet. Like, last thing I want to do is make a moveset only for the game to come out and show things that could have been used for the moveset. I also saw someone ask earlier if if Asgore's neutral special counts as a projectile. Yes, it does, and so does his down special. Yeah, the Heat Wave and the Trident Toss, those both count as projectiles. The Trident Toss will only be a projectile until it sticks into the ground, though. Once it sticks into the ground, it's stuck there.
Should he be hanging his head for the entirety of the battle?
No, because there's no reason for him to be sad here. He's just a king fighting now. Because he has reasons to be sad when fighting Frisk, because he doesn't want to hurt Frisk, but he knows he has to. Or at least he feels like he has to, anyway. But here, he's just fighting. There's no reason for him to feel sad. He's just a stern king now.
Okay. Red Toad asks, what about incorporating the 6 souls into Asgore's final smash? Didn't you do that with Flowey?
Yeah, I used that with Flowey. Well, Flowey used the 6 souls when fighting in general. But with Asgore, he never uses them. So we don't even know what he would do. Asgore should do a bear hug for his grab? No, because, again, Asgore is not trying to treat his opponents like some fluffy friends. He's fighting them. Like, he is a king fighting against an enemy. That's what he's doing. Like, he's not going to be, joking or, or cuddly or a dad. He's going to be a king. Like, people need their, again, and I make mention of this in the video. Most people see Asgore, as this pushover dad character. But he's a king. He fought in a war. You gotta remember that. And he didn't, and again, from what we saw, from what we can assuming that is Asgore anyway in that intro, he fought at the front lines. So, I don't see him treating his enemies, like some children. He's going to be serious. What is the time difference in attack animations from his slowest speed to his top speed? That's a frame data question, and I would need to actually look into that myself. If I were to put it into terms, though, see, I don't even want to put it into terms because I could be wrong. Like, whatever I say could make him overpowered or could make him not good. This is literally just a case of this is a concept idea. And this is literally something that we would need to test, like actually be able to test with like a mod or something to really see what the speeds need to be to make sure that he's not that he's not terrible, but not also overpowered. Like, this is just the case of it needs to be tampered with. It needs to be balanced. Like, again, this kind of goes back to all the ideas. And this does not go just for my ideas. This goes for everybody's ideas for Smash movesets in general. Any idea can work so long as you think it works for the character. It kind of just goes back down to opinions, what you think works best for the character or not. But the truth of the matter is, any attack can work. Any idea can work. What makes it overpowered or not is a matter of just simple balancing. Like, it just needs to be tampered with a little bit. You just need to find out what needs to happen to this attack to not make it too bad or too good. That's kind of what it all boils down to. Say sorry for destroying Asgore's self-esteem? No, he had it coming. He killed 6 kids. He had it coming. Anyway. Could we call Asgore's side B Ember Dash? I guess. Does down special spike if used in the air? No, because the Trident itself I mentioned this in the video. When the trident hits somebody, it doesn't really launch them that much. It just pierces them. Like, it pierces through them. Like, it does flinching damage, really. It hurts. It does a lot of damage, but it causes flinching at most.
Alright.
Would the trident swing of his side special reflect projectiles? No, it wouldn't reflect. If it would reflect, I would have said that it would have reflected.
I was seeing somebody was asking like with the grab, like, you know, couldn't like Asgore just hit with like the hilt of his weapon?
He could. I mean, that's an idea.
Okay, this guy keeps asking about Battle Sonic. When you have a final smash, the eyes of your character turn red or yellow. What will happen with Battle Sonic?
They turn yellow.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's kind of self-explanatory.
Every character's eyes turn yellow, but I think the one exception is Meta Knight. Meta Knight turns red, but that's only because Meta Knight already has yellow eyes. So they just turn yellow.
Alrighty.
All right. So is there any like issues? Yeah, with Asgore now.
Water flowers for victory animations?
That was one of the victory animations. You should have a tipper. Nah. Ridley's eyes don't. They turn. Well, Ridley's eyes are also naturally yellow. Yeah, like so the general is your eyes will turn yellow unless your eyes are already yellow, in which case they turn red. And then yeah, the whole Toriel Echo Fighter thing. I explained that in the video. Before,
Yeah,
you know.
that was part of the joke.
Yeah, like yeah, because normally if a character isn't an Echo Fighter, I don't bother mentioning it. But like I did that there purposefully for the sake of setting up that really mean joke of just breaking Asgore's heart. Will you make a Toriel moveset if she gets enough requests? Yeah, who's the true monster here? Toriel took the kids? No.
What kids?
No, yeah, the humans took the kids.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah, what kids?
Oof. Liar, Princess, and Blind Prince moveset. Sure, I got you down for that. Alright, so anything else on Asgore then? Because if we're done with Asgore, then we can start going into the general thing, where we just talk about every character. Like, not even just these 10. Just, like, every character. Like, if there's any character in general, that people want to talk about that they may have, you know, not have been here for a previous mistake stream. Why are there 7 dislikes in this stream? I don't know. Why didn't he break into your house? Because I invited him here. He was supposed to be my guest, and I messed everything up. Is his name Porky or Pokey? Yes.
Yeah, that's your answer. Yes.
Alright, so it looks like we're good then. So, alright. So, let me just do this now, as long as it actually works. Automatic. There we go. Okay. So, now we're just kind of going back into general. So, if there's any character in general that you want to talk about, or ask about, or, you know, give your criticism about, give your feedback about, go ahead. Like, so yeah, if there's also a character during this stream that maybe you wanted to ask about, you missed, we can do that.
Cooper says, I feel like Isaac's Finding of Isaac's entrance should instead have him come out from a hatch door on the ground, and when he comes out of it, the door disappears.
Yeah, that's an idea. Does Jibanyan have alt colors for his evolutions? No, his the gimmick that I gave for Jibanyan is that he actually becomes his evolutions depending on what types of attacks he's hit by. Oh, you're asking if his evolutions have alts? They would, yes. I just didn't make them back then. I probably should make them now, but I didn't make them back then though.
Can we have another Zelda character to join Linkle? Gotta request them. That's what it boils down to. Requests.
Yep. Does the Knight's down air spike? I think I said no. It does not. I think
I have a question about. Oh, I have a question about Crazy Dave. Why does he grab with a toadstool? A play known to grab zombies.
What? Wait, what's the question?
I have a question about Crazy Dave. Why does he grab with a toadstool? A play known to grab zombies?
No, he doesn't grab with the toads. You're referring to the fungus? He doesn't grab with that. He grabs with his hands. Like, he grabs with his hands, with both hands, causing him to drop his flower pot. And then the flower pot, like, something comes out of the flower pot to use for his pummels or his throws. Like,
I think maybe what they're asking is, you know, why that and why not the plant that's known for grabbing and holding zombies. I think that's what they're trying to say.
which plant was that?
The
Toadstool?
Was it the toadstool? Was it toadstool? I don't know Plants vs Zombies. You're
must-
the one that played it.
That
so-
might have been from a newer game. I don't remember. I don't know. Gino's side B doesn't go sideways. I mean, it attacks in front of him, so that's still to his side. Heavy should have a bearded alt. That can be one of his hats. I mean, I talked about the whole hat situation for Heavy in general, so.
Joshua NA says two things. I think Spyro deserved more of his elemental powers. Sadly, Brian is not here to elaborate on that because he was the one that made that moveset. And two, any ideas so far as how Crash would change thanks to Crash 4?
That's a good question. Yeah, there's a couple of characters who have had new games since I made their movesets. Shantae is one. Paper Mario is another. Yeah, that's just the case of, like, I don't plan on redoing the movesets to add anything, because it would literally just be a case of, like, I'd probably change one or two things, and I don't think that really merit a video. Like, again, there might be a time in the future, like, way in the future, where I make, like, a whole video going over what minute changes I would make to all previous characters. Like, based on new information, or, yeah, new games. But as for Crash, I couldn't tell you. Because we don't really know enough about what we've seen from Crash 4 as of yet, so we don't know. For Scorpion Kirby, if he sucks him up, will he be able to do the inputs? Yes, because Kirby can still do the inputs for Ryu, Ken, and Terry. So yeah, he would.
BJ, can Mimikyu insta KO opponents?
No, I never gave him an attack that can do that. I saw somebody ask a question, but I forgot what it was. Dang it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. Someone asked, do I think that I made Toad's side specials too similar to Banjo's? I mean, there's lots of attacks that involve characters just charging forwards for a side B, but mechanically it's different, because Banjo's whole deal is that he becomes invincible, whereas Toad's allows him to dash all over the place. Like, if you mash the button, he'll keep going. So. Yeah. Thoughts on the weirdness that is Pokemon Unite? I'm not interested. I've never really been into those League of Legends types of games, so I'm not interested in it. Have I heard of Alpharad? Of course. Not a lot of people that haven't heard out. There's not a lot of people in the Smash community that haven't heard of Alpharad. He's pretty big.
Does Asgore's ult change his weapon in any way?
No, because of the color differences of his Smash attacks. Like, it would always remain red. Because even in the battle colors, it's still red. So like, because like the fact that it can change blue to blue or orange, for certain attacks means that it really should just stay red. When will the next stage icon and all that stuff will be? Probably next week, because the next stream is definitely going to be the Min Min stream. Like, yeah, where we're going over Min Min. So probably the stream after that might end up being the aesthetic stream. If Mimikyu does side B theft while Goose is holding one of the moves, does Mimikyu get it back? Yeah, he actually would. Because like if Goose stole one of Mimikyu's attacks, but then Mimikyu just used Thief to get it back, yeah, Mimikyu would get it back. Yeah, that would be a thing. It's like, mine! No, mine! It's literally... Don't worry, we got you down for Gordon Freeman, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
If Metal Sonic wins, would his Final Smash have its own... I don't know why a lot of people suddenly thought, like... Was it because I made the comment of, after, after the Final Smash ends, Metal Sonic turns back to his original form to resume the fight. Assuming he didn't end it as Metal Overlord, of course. Was it because I said that? Like, because I got a lot of people saying, oh, will he have a unique victory animation as Metal Overlord if he does that? It's like, no. Only Joker does that. Like, I think people took that line a little too literally.
BJ, Burger King or McDonald's?
Neither. I'm keto.
What if organic was in Smash?
Next question. What happens when you get someone into Flowey down B in the air? What? Oh, then you're asking what happens if you hit somebody with Flowey's down B in the air? He just transforms. It's no different than if it was on the ground. Does Asgore's time to get faster frame data reduce in free-for-alls? I'd say yeah. I would definitely say yeah, because like it's no different than how damage scaling works in free-for-alls. So yeah, I would say yeah. He'd get faster during free-for-alls because he's getting attacked more.
Who is your favorite yokai?
Blizzaria. Because I've always been fascinated by the legend that she's based off of.
What would happen if Goof stole one of Agumon's attacks, but then he evolved into Greymon or even War Greymon?
He stole the Goose steals the button inputs. So even if Agumon lost his neutral special, then became Greymon, he still wouldn't be able to use his neutral special.
Do you think Springtrap would be too gory for Smash Brothers? No.
Nah, I think he'd be fine.
No, like as horrifying at the subject matter that Five Nights at Freddy's can get, when it comes to the gore factor, it's actually very tame.
Yeah, like the Springtrap suit is just it's just decayed. It doesn't look gory though.
Yeah, it's like, again, yeah, like, yes, the implications and everything behind it and the whole purpose behind it, yeah, it's horrifying, but as far as, like, graphic, like, blood and all that other stuff, it's like, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is relatively tame for a horror game.
How did I not get age restricted with Shantae? I don't know. Just didn't. How does Flowey move? I explained that in the video. Again, that was a a theoretical idea, but while walking, while just walking normally, he kind of just shuffles in the ground. But when he runs or is in the air, we see like these tentacle roots. And again, because the idea that I do for Flowey is that he's fighting with the 6 souls, so he's able to shapeshift his body thanks to their power. So I saw someone bring up how Flowey doesn't have roots, which, are you sure about that? He's a flower. But even if he didn't, with this power of the 6 souls, he can very well give himself roots. So that's kind of where I was going with that. Up B for Genocide Frisk should be like Little Max. No, because again, the whole point of Genocide Frisk is to deal a lot of damage and to be able to kill really easily, but to have a terrible recovery because they've fallen from grace. Like, there's no recovering. Again, because like the idea is that you can't recover the pacifist mode ever again once you do genocide mode, unless you just completely reset the data. Would you like help with the art in your videos? No, I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Goose's stage entrance should be him coming out of a bush.
I saw some people suggest that, and honestly, that probably is a much more interesting idea than what I thought of. Just him just flying there, taking a wrong turn when he was flying south of the winter. That is a much more interesting idea. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's like just honk, poke his head out, and just waddle out of the bush.
Yeah, and the bush kind of just poofs away. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Animal Crossing villagers?
What about him?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's how many villagers? It's like,
oh, you're asking.
Normally, I would.
Oh, wait, you're asking for like one of the animal villagers?
Yeah, like one of the animal villagers, and it's like, normally I would say request them, but then it's like, wait a minute, how many animal villagers do we currently have now? That's an awful lot.
Do I play Kirby? Not really. I play DDD. Am I playing The World Ends With You? No, I haven't played that yet. Should Sans have 1 HP just like an Undertale? Getting a stamina meter? No, because the whole deal with that is he's just really easy to kill. And again, more often than not, in most situations with that kind of gimmick, by the time Sans comes out, yeah, you'll be in a very easy to kill spot, so long as you actually can kill him.
Can you make a tier maker template with your movesets?
A tier maker okay. I see a lot of people ask, to make a tier list for this. How? Because again, we don't really know, because the point of tier lists are to know what, what people consider the actual usability are for the characters based on their actual functionalities within that Smash game, or the game, whatever game it is in general. We can't play any of these characters, so we don't actually know how well they would do. Like, I know most people would probably sit there and say Steve would be bottom tier. He'd be the lowest tier possible, and there's Steve right there. Go figure. But you don't actually know that, because again, it all goes back to balancing. He could be made in a way where even with that complex gimmick, he'd be really good. You don't know that. It just depends on the balancing of the character. Make a moveset for organic, you coward. I am a coward. I am a coward, and I'm proud of it. But you know what? he who bravely ran away got to live another day. So.
Oh, wow.
How would Kirby with Metal Sonic ability work? We explained that earlier. Like, if Metal Sonic copying Metal Sonic would just give him the homing attack, and if Kirby copies Metal Sonic, you just get scanned, and then if he scans Metal Sonic, you get the homing attack. That's it.
Someone asked, can you curve the Kamehameha?
For Goku, no, it goes straight.
Danny, could we possibly see the other characters like, don't worry. At the end of this thing, I will read off the list.
Yeah,
So
we'll be ending this soon. Like, we've been going on for about 3 hours now. I don't mind going on for a little bit longer, but pretty soon we will be ending this. So once we'll list off the final request list at the end of the stream.
BJ, what's your favorite Pokemon game / gen?
My favorite game or gen, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. What happens if Metal Sonic were to copy SpongeBob? Because I'm gonna count that as a tap range special. Well, actually, I don't know, because you can tap it, you can hold it. I don't know, actually. There's quite a bit from that one. I guess just to make it simpler, we'll make it a tap, because yes, you can hold it down for the strong bubble and then spin the controller while holding it down for the or maybe it should be arranged. I don't know. SpongeBob is weird. SpongeBob makes things weird. Scorpion Smashy should have branches. I don't think he needed them. Mostly because the point of smash attacks are to launch your opponents away. What branches would there be after that? Because think about it like this. Smash attack. The purpose of smash attacks are to get your opponent out of here, to launch them away from you. So if there were branches to the smash attacks, that would require you to actually do those command inputs just to launch them away, because the first hit wouldn't actually launch, and that would be terrible. So no, Scorpion, that's the same reason why Ryu and Ken and Terry don't have command inputs for their smash attacks, or tap and hold functions for those cases. What happens if Metal Sonic copies Bendy? Bendy's neutral special was the Ink Toss. So I think that'd be a tap. How was the Isle of Armor? It was okay. I liked it. It was fun. Oh. King Boo's final smash. The king smashes a painting into the ground and a swarm of ghosts. There probably was more to that, but it got cut off. Alright. Eric Carp. No, no South Park characters, no Family Guy characters. Nothing from no characters from any show made by Seth MacFarlane. And no South Park either, sorry. I do not like any of those shows. I do not want to touch them. Ooh. What happens for Papyrus and Undyne in training mode or infinite time matches? I can see them adding because they do the same thing for a Golden Frieza in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where they add an extra little option to permanently to either change you into Golden Frieza or permanently keep you as Golden Frieza for the sake of combos. So they could add a little they could add a little thing where you can change to Sans or Undying immediately if you wanted to. And then for infinite time matches, at that point it would be based off of how many stocks you have.
Why doesn't Bendy turn into Ink Bendy?
That whole moveset, the idea of it was a theoretical idea. Because Ink Bendy is the monster you come across, yes, but the cartoon is the more iconic design. So the idea that I thought up of was the Bendy you're fighting is like if the ink machine actually was able to make a proper Bendy, like it did for the Boris. So that was the idea that I was going for. So he doesn't turn into the Ink Bendy because there's no point. You're fighting the cartoon. You're like an unsettling version of the cartoon. I do make reference to it, though, with the revealing glass, so. Okay, but can you make a non-stock infinite time match? Yeah, it's called Stamina. Actually, I don't think you can. No, I don't think that's an option.
Are you able to tell us how many requests certain characters have?
At this point, I'm not going to. I could. I'm just not going to.
I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Nope. With that said, again, just a reminder for those, or either as a reminder or just for those who haven't heard yet. So when the series continues on July 10th with episode 61, episodes 61, 62, 63, and 64 are going to be characters that I personally really want to do. Because I made a poll a couple weeks ago asking if you guys would be interested in me making characters that I want to do regardless of their request count. And they got an astonishing 97% yes. Technically it was 92, but that other 5% just didn't care, which I'm going to count as yes. So yeah. So 61 to 64 are going to be those characters. So don't worry, because I know this worried a couple people. I'm still taking requests, obviously, because after those 4 characters are up, I'm going back to doing the highly requested characters. And of course, if you happen to request for the characters that I'm doing, I'm still going to count those, for sure. Like, I'm still going to list off the people who requested those 4 characters, but don't expect the numbers to be very high. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, guys, Victor Gamer brings up a good point. Remember the slime moveset? The moveset that nobody requested, but then everybody loved by the time BJ was done?
To be fair, everyone just loves slime. How much do I have to pay you to make an organic moveset? I don't know. What is my price for that?
$1 million.
Dang it! I was trying to go for something that wasn't generic. Later, Johnson. Yeah, it's like I've been working hard to get these movesets. Get these movesets. They are. If I can give one tiny little hint, all 4 characters are from pretty expansive games. I'll just say that. So.
BJ, is there a specific number of requests for a character to get a moveset?
It increases the more requests each character gets. Like, I stop writing down. Well, okay, I should say this. I write down the names of every user who requests for a character, just to make sure that I don't get double requested, to make sure that the numbers don't get inflated. But I only show the first 20, and then the actual number of requests that I feel a character needs before I consider making a moveset for them, it generally is increasing. Like right now, I think it's at like 250 before I consider it. Like 250 or 300, around that number.
I think it was 20, like back when, this was still very much a new concept. So it's like, you didn't have nearly as many people watching. So 20 was like, okay, that's fairly reasonable. But, that's not the case now.
All right, so I guess nobody has anything else they want to say about any of the characters or anything of the like.
Somebody says, would Porky have a specific victory animation line if he beats Ness or Lucas?
Sure. Like yeah, because one thing I usually don't go over are like unique stuff, like what characters might say to specific characters. Like I usually.
I know I did that when we made the Knights moveset.
Yeah, because
specifically when Knights and Reala faced each other, I gave them unique stuff.
I generally don't do that because there are some things that I would like to leave to my audience's imagination, for the most part. When Mark uses wings to jump, yeah, like he just flap his wings.
Okay. I saw someone say, idea for a Heavy intro. Heavy sitting down, looking at his gun, notices a spot, then he stands up, kicking the box, and says, "Who touched my gun?"
Excuse me. All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. My voice is starting to feel hoarse, honestly. All right, so yeah, I think this is probably a good place to call it. So I'm glad as always, I'm glad we did this. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys. You know, it's like because I love to use this kind of feedback in terms of in terms of my mentality for making future movesets. So I know what to do, what not to do, things like that. Like, I like to, I like to hear feedback. I love to hear criticism. And overall, I just love to hear people's own ideas about this. I like to hear people talk. I like to listen to other people's thoughts on these things. It's something I just really enjoy doing. In which case, before we sign off, Danny, would you like to read off the final list?
Okay, that being said, before I even do that, Plague Life I saw asked, do you ever do not as requested characters, like characters that don't have high requests? We have done a couple.
Yeah, we've done a few, and that will be the next 4.
Yeah. Yes, that's like, like the one moveset I got to narrate with Knights, that got like 27 requests or something, but currently Slime's got everybody beat because nobody requested Slime, and BJ did it anyway.
Yeah, and I should also go ahead and say Slime still has that record, because the 4 characters that I'm doing next, they may not have a lot, but they do have requests. All 4 characters have gotten requests from some people. So Slime currently still holds that record.
And I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, like, because I've noticed every week whenever BJ posts a new video, I've noticed, like, on Twitter or something, somebody has been asking, if me or Brian are going to come back and voice and narrate some more characters. And it's like, we definitely would like to. I can tell you for a fact that at least from what I have been talking with BJ about, the characters that I want to do, it's going to be in that same situation. They either had little requests or none at all. Like, so chances are likely if you see me coming in narrating a video, it's not going to be a highly requested character. It's gonna be somebody, pretty obscure probably,
Katie
or
June.
one that nobody thought of.
Katie June, thanks for the sub. All right, let's go ahead and end this before I lose my voice.
Alrighty, so I have Chun-Li, quote, Bubsy, Zidane, Quagsire, Big the Cat, Lord Amor, the Murder Monkeys from Dark Deception, Jonesy, Ninjara, 2B, Dante, Muffet, Bartz, Decidueye, Noriaki Kakyoin, Chrono, Rick Sanchez, Lloyd Irving, Dementio, Infinite, Goro Akechi, Isaac Clark, the Octoling, Mickey Mouse, Dio Brando, Genji, Giorno Giovanna, Yoshikage Kira, Hello Neighbor, Deadpool, the Robloxian, Funny Valentine, Makoto Nagi, Ninten, Chell, Maratsuki, Laura from Xenoblade 2, Jen from Xenoblade 2, Teddy, the purple guy, Red from the Angry Birds, Leon Kennedy, Psycho Mantis, Hornet, May from Night in the Woods, Guybrush Threepwood, Homer Simpson, Sub-Zero, Chie, Ratchet and Clank, Nathan Drake, Frogger, Plock, Enju Seonji, Amy Rose, Frank West, Toe Jam and Earl, Earthworm Jim, Raddick, Chuck Green, A Boy and His Blob, Resourceful Rat from Enter the Gungeon, Timmy and Tommy, William Adams from Neo, Neku Sakuraba, Jean-Pierre Polnareff, Scooby-Doo, The Terrarian, Naruto, Toriel, Neptune from Hyperdimension Neptunia, Riku, Foxy, King Dice, Jotaro Kujo, Joseph Joestar, Springtrap, Terra from Final Fantasy VI, Yu Narukami, Dark Matter, Monokuma, Gordon Freeman, Guzma, Illidan Storm Rage from WoW, the Goomba, Mallow, the Slender Man, Parappa the Rapper, Asuka from Senran Kagura, the Death Knight from Raid Shadow Legends, I can't believe someone actually played that game to request that.
You know, I real quickly, I have actually been offered sponsors from them too. I rejected them though because I don't want to play that game.
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends just pours out to everybody. Scrooge McDuck, Magalore, Mangle from FNAF, Umbreon, Reggie Gigas, and Tom Nook.
Alrighty, cool. Alright, so yep. If we missed your requests at this point, just leave them in the comments of the video. Leave them. You can put them on. You can send them to me on Twitter. You can leave them in any of the comments of any of my videos. Trust me, I will see them. If there was any questions or any other things about the characters or just in general that you wanted to ask, but we may have missed, yeah, Twitter or comments. You know, I will see them. I promise. But with that said, thank you so much for joining us. I had a great time. And the next time I will see you guys will be this coming Monday when Min Min comes out for Smash. We will be doing a let's check out Min Min stream where I will I'll take a look at what Min Min does or mechanics, everything, kind of learn how to play with her a little bit, and then also do some viewer battles with you guys. Just a heads up though, something I am starting to do. From now on, whenever I do viewer battles or anything that directly involves the audience, I am going to be prioritizing Discord members first. So when I do the viewer battles, the Discord members are going to be getting the battles first. And then any non-Discord members or non-members in general will get battles later. So just keep that in mind. So in which case, thank you so much for tuning in. I had a great time. And, stay safe, wash your hands, wear the mask, and have a great night.